New season of basketball will be my new sidekick and broadcast partner, Coach Mark Gibson of Senator Football. Well, for Coach Smith and his Senators, tonight's game will be about perhaps the biggest measuring stick that any coach could possibly ask for. After losing a nucleus of 6 seniors, including 1,000-point scorer Noah Green in that group, the roster for the Senator Club looked dramatically different and, might I add, pretty youthful as well. The new era and roster will feature 4 freshmen and 3 sophomores at any various times throughout a game, including freshman starter at the point, Holden Bowsman, who will fill Michael Sizemore's shoes as the floor general for Coach Smith's club. In addition, Coach Smith will have to rely on just 2 lone seniors held over from last year's club that had any valuable experience at all at the varsity level, that being senior guard Camden Zink and forward Nick Mars. Coach, this is a young roster that was really kind of a mirror image of what we dealt with all season long during football as a coaching staff, trying to get these guys to learn, a lot of teaching going on. But for Coach Smith and Senator Nation tonight, patience will be obviously the key. But what specifically will Coach Smith and his staff be looking for tonight in this battle with Salem?
Well, I think you hit the nail right on the head there. And we dealt with it. I mean, it's just we're in a phase where we have a lot of youngsters, young athletes out there, and they're going to have to take it. I mean, I know it's cliche, but they're going to have to take it one game at a time, one quarter at a time, one play at a time. And he's going to be looking for the little things. I mean, when you're that young, you have to do the little things right. You have to dig down and play D every time. You can't just wait for your natural ability to take over. You have to communicate. You have to make sure you're running the offense correctly. I mean, sometimes the last couple of years we were so talented, you can just play your one-on-one plays and not really get into the offense that much. I'm sure they did, but I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense or not, but I mean, when you're that young, and you lose those type of kids over the last couple of years, the little things definitely are going to add up to one big thing. So he's going to be looking at the little things. Is this player playing defense every single possession? Is he making the correct pass? Is he faking a pass to make a pass? Is it, it's just all the little things that will add up to a successful season for this young Senator Ball Club.
On the flip side of the coin, the Salem Lions enter this season in a very familiar spot, as the Senators are, after losing the likes of Seth Hobson, Jeffrey Birch, Jalen Nice, Derek Cornett. Coach Whedon was also left searching the cupboard to see what was left in his arsenal offensively and defensively from his group last year. The good news for Salem is that, in fact, they do return 2 of their starters, unlike West Washington, in point guard Xavier Hendigas, the junior point guard, and senior forward Hunter Whedon. This inside-out duo did combine for 28 points in last year's win over West Washington in the season opener. Coach Gibson, Whedon's paint presence, we know about that. He's a monster on the boards. He's going to get after it all night long in the paint. Salem's obviously going to want to take advantage of that. How did the Senators look to contain him while at the same time trying to maintain Hendigas out front with the dribble?
Yeah, that's what, if you remember from last year, you have Mr. Whedon, he had a heck of a game in the paint for him. We would get a stop, we'd play some D, and then he killed us on the offensive boards. And then, he's just tough. And, one of the things we're going to have to do is, it just goes back to our original point. I mean, you're going to have to communicate when we're on the defensive end. We're going to have good rotations. The hands are going to have to be up. We can't ever leave the hands down. You always say hand down, man down, when Peyton had Peyton Walker last year in the corner. But we're just going to have to make sure we're sound in our fundamentals. I mean, we're going to say that 1,000 times over the next month with this young team. And like you said, Salem's lost a lot too. So, I mean, these coaches are going to look for a lot of fundamentals in this first game. And I'm sure both coaches are excited, just like I am to be with you tonight. And I'm sure you're excited to get going. I'm betting these coaches are excited to see what's going on in this first contest of the season as well.
Obviously excited. This is my 11th full season of bringing you play-by-play of Senator basketball, and Coach Gibson's been with me off and on throughout doing games. Great fill-in, great sub. Glad to have him along for the ride this season as we look at some fresh faces, some baby faces on the Senator Club, and watch them grow and mature throughout the year. course, we always want to take this moment during our Senator Tip-Off pregame show to thank you, the fans, for tuning in to tonight's broadcast of Senator Basketball and our Senator Tip-Off pregame show brought to you by John Jones, GM City of Salem. We also want to thank all the great sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator Basketball possible, and those sponsors include this year John Jones, GM City, bringing you the pregame show coverage, Eddie Gilstrap Motors, our Senator halftime report sponsor, as well as Ace Hardware of Salem, bringing you our Senator postgame show each night, as well as McDonald's on South Main Street. Walmart joining the crew this year out by the radio station. Glad to have them along. Brady Bishop and Channel Seeds, as well as Salem Crossing and Meadowview Healthcare. When we come back, we'll sit down and we'll get a chance to talk with Senator head coach Sean Smith, in beginning his 4th season here at the helm of the Senator program. We'll get his thoughts on how the offseason went, how he's bringing these young guys along, and we'll get his thoughts on the night's matchup with the Lions when we come back. But first, it's a 60-second timeout to hear a word from the Indiana High School Athletic Association. You're listening to the Senators take on the Lions tonight on your home for Southern Indiana sports coverage, WSLM 1220 on the AM dial.
Before the big plays, before the magical moments, before all that discipline, dedication, and teamwork finally pays off, comes your support. The IHSAA Foundation is dedicated to protecting, sustaining, and nurturing education-based athletics in Indiana. Its work will ensure IHSAA member schools and coaches receive the support they need so that Indiana student-athletes receive the opportunity they deserve. Learn more at ihsaafoundation.org.
Welcome back as we continue our countdown to the tip here on the Senator Tip-Off pregame show presented by John Jones, GM City in Salem. Tonight, the Senators set to open their 2017-2018 basketball season with their arch rival, the Salem Lions, as they play host to them here on this Thanksgiving Eve tradition. And we're joined now by 4th-year Senator head coach, Mr. Sean Smith. Coach, if we can just start, talk a little bit about what we do know. And what we do know for sure is that due to graduation, we lost 6 incredible guys that were a big part of the success over the last couple of seasons. They were kind of the nucleus of the group that was able to deliver a couple of sectional titles, a regional title, and an appearance in the semi-state against Bloomfield a couple of seasons ago, that being Michael Sizemore, Bryce Farmer, Noah Green, Hunter Sanford, Peyton Walker, and Jackson Byrne. Knowing that, you also know that you've got a lot of young guys, of course, it's going to step into the limelight and that prominent role maybe for the first time in their careers this season at the varsity level. So take us back to the spring and through the summer and even into the fall once school got started about how you approached your off-season workouts to try to get these young guys up to speed and ready for that big stage tonight.
Well, I mean, you're absolutely right. There's 6 guys that aren't walking through the door, and we have a whole bunch of young guys who have little experience, but at the same time they have an opportunity. You know, they have an opportunity that they haven't had, the past few years to come out and compete and for spots at the varsity level. So we've pretty much kind of talked about, how everything's going to be earned, and it's kind of a wide open thing as far as spots. So, we kind of look at everybody kind of being the same, and there's no one that's really necessarily, been a varsity player and proved themselves. So, guys are going to have to prove themselves day in and day out in practice. Over the summer, they, with their workouts over the summer and their dedication during that time, and just getting themselves ready, for the season. I mean, up to this point, it's been guys needing to step up and prove themselves, and that's a daily thing. It's nothing's set in stone, and no one's really earned that right to maybe have an extended stay at any position. Cam and Nick certainly have been around. Cam Zink and Nick Mars, being seniors, they've certainly been a part of success and and they've been there, and we're looking for them to be leaders, and we're going to lean on them quite a bit because they really are the only two guys that have really any experience. We have a couple guys who got a little cameo performances here and there, especially a couple times there late in the season last year. But overall, they're the only two that have really any experience. We're going to need them to really lead. But overall, I mean, it's been expressed that everybody's going to have to earn it, and we talked about what it takes to earn opportunities, and there's going to be plenty of opportunities for guys, and throughout this early part of the season to prove themselves, both in practice and now as we get into the games.
Coach, you mentioned the two seniors, Cam and Nick, and what kind of asset they will be to you guys going forward, leaning on their experience, and truly not a situation coming in where they have a bulk of varsity experience. In a small junior class, most of the roster, the majority of it, sophomores, freshmen. So getting a group like this that's so young, physically ready for the varsity level is one thing. Talk about how to get them ready mentally for this kind of competition or this level of play.
Well, we've been just really trying to focus on staying positive, being positive. As far as getting guys ready mentally, I mean, it's difficult to simulate those things in practice, and we can talk about it, but until they set foot on the floor and the lights come on, it really probably they just haven't experienced it. And so, there's going to be a lot of firsts tomorrow or tonight. There's going to be a lot of firsts. There's going to be some first baskets for guys. There's going to be some first mistakes. There's going to be a lot of firsts out there. So just encouraging guys, through their mistakes and celebrating their successes, and just again we talk all the time about it being a process and just trusting the process. It's an opportunity to come out and compete, find out what it's all about, see where we're at, and it's an opportunity to learn and grow and improve. And we just got to focus on the day by day. We just continue to talk about that every day. Is get a little bit better every day. And we scrimmaged this past weekend and saw some good things and saw some things that we really need to work on that are very important. And so we've been trying to fix some stuff as quick as we can, but in a couple of days it's hard to do. But it's just a learning process, and we're just going to have to continue to just focus on getting a little bit better every day, and remember this thing's going to be a marathon. It's not a sprint, and just got to take that approach.
Coach, I've been able to step in and watch some of your practices. A lot of teaching going on by the entire staff, of course, with so many young guys. What specifically have you liked out of this group, either offensively or defensively, that you've been able to see thus far?
Well, overall, I really have liked their energy and how hard they're working. And for the most part, I feel like they've been pretty eager to learn. Getting them to pay attention to the finer details has been a bit of a struggle in some aspects, just because that background knowledge is not there. This is the first they've really been exposed to some of the concepts that we talk about at the varsity level. And in an ideal situation, some of these guys would be able to have a little more seasoning time, on the JV level, but that's just reality. So we're going to have a lot of guys splitting between varsity and JV, so that they can get some really quality minutes on the JV and utilize the five-quarter rule and try to get as much experience as we can here in the early going to try to hopefully help us improve as fast as possible. Again, kind of speeding up that process the best we can, so that maybe by the end of the year we'll be a good basketball team and be able to contend for a sectional.
Coach, as we mentioned in the open, of course, you start with this holiday tradition of playing Salem to open up the season. Maybe not the most favorite thing that you have on the schedule. I know that's been something that's been talked about before, but when you look at this Salem team coming in, you turn your attention to them. Of course, it being the first game, there's going to be a lot of surprises, I'm sure, on both teams' parts that you're not used to seeing in this first game out of the gate. But knowing what they have back, and Whedon as an inside presence, and Hendigas handling the rock outside. Talk to us a little bit about your mindset going in and what you know about the returners.
Well, I mean, I think they're going to be a really solid team, and definitely, uh, they're probably not the favorite in the Mid-Southern Conference, but I see them being a legit contender and certainly giving people any team in that conference and sectional problems. I think Whedon's a top-notch player. I mean, he's an inside-out uh, threat. He's a tough matchup for anyone. And then Hendigas is super quick and could create for his team, knock down shots. And I think they have some guys who were, maybe didn't get a lot of spotlight last year coming off the bench, like the Suvac kid, can really shoot it and play. So I think they'll have some guys step in to fill out their at least their starting five, and if they can develop a few guys on the bench and get a nice 7-man rotation going, I think they're going to be a really solid team. They're going to be a tremendous challenge for us. Here coming out of the gate with our lack of experience, but you're right. I mean, first night out, probably be all kinds of surprises. I mean, anything can happen, and it should be an interesting game. It always is. There's going to be a lot of people here, and it's going to be a fun atmosphere for the kids to play in, and at least again getting that first. It's another first for all those guys, so they're going to get their feet wet, and it's just one of those things that we're going to come out and compete and find guys who are going to fight and battle and see where we're at, see where we stand against a really, really good team, one of the best teams we'll have on our schedule or we'll see all year.
We talk about some of those surprises, and I know you've talked about it being a process and finding things that work in this first game, but one thing that probably will not be a surprise, probably look for Salem to come out as always and utilize some trapping pressure in the half court and full court. So how do you try to combat that offensively?
Yeah, we've been working on that. I mean, that won't be a surprise. I mean, they always do that, and I would certainly do the same. So, I mean, I expect to see a 1-3-1 trap and man-to-man run and jump action, and they'll probably trap whenever they can. And I think that's something we've been definitely working on a lot in practice. Is we're facing a 1-3-1, facing pressure. They've been trying to work on some different things, teaching guys how to be strong against double teams. How to use their dribble to maybe create a passing angle, how to come back and help guys when they get in trouble and things like that. We've been working on those things. We'll see where we're at and see what happens. It's going to be a great learning experience for us.
Coach, what about coming into this opener for the season? What about the health of your guys? And give us a starting lineup for tonight's matchup.
I think everybody's healthy and certainly excited to play. They're tired of probably practicing against each other. We did get a chance to go scrimmage Saturday. We were fortunate to pick up that scrimmage against Du Bois, and so that was good for us. And as far as the lineup goes, tonight we're going to start off with Holden Bousman at the point, Mikey Nichols at the 2, Camden Zink at the 3, Dakota Smith at the 4, and Nick Mars at the 5.
Coach, as always, we appreciate the time here before the tip and wish you the best of luck in tonight's season opener against the Lions and look forward to getting your comment after the ball game.
Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Fourth-year head coach, head coach Sean Smith joins us here on the Senator Tip-Off pregame show. Stick with us. We'll have more in a moment. You're listening to Senator Basketball tonight on WSLM 1220 on the AM dial.
Hi, my name is Becky White from WSLM, and I'm at the beautiful new John Jones GM City facility in Salem, Indiana.
Hi, this is Rick with John Jones Auto Group, Salem, Indiana. Our November service specials include a $49.95 lube, oil, filter, tire rotation, and 27-point inspection, $20 off any AC service, a $54.95 diagnostic check, and up to a $100 mail-in rebate on select tires. Don't forget about our tire price match guarantee. Stop by and see us anytime. No appointment necessary. We service all makes and models. Thank you for the opportunity to earn your business.
John Jones GM City. You see so many because they paid so little.
Welcome back as we continue on with more of this edition of our Senator Tip-Off pregame show, counting down to the tip tonight in the season opener for both the Senators and the Lions. We're joined now by Salem head coach Hank Whedon. Coach, talk to us a little bit about the growth of your team over the summer and in the offseason, because you, as well as Coach Smith, lost quite a bit of firepower.
Yeah, I think our kids, they've worked real hard, came in this summer, and, it was kind of new for us because the first time we didn't have the same faces for 4 years, and just a new team. We returned a couple of guys that got a lot of minutes varsity-wise. They're starters, and Xavier Hennigas and Hunter Whedon, and then Landon he averaged about 15 minutes a game and really contributed a lot. And then Blayton has been part of the program for 4 years. We played mostly JV last year, but he stepped up this summer and just played tremendous for us and, kind of filled that gap we needed. So, a lot of ours is going to be dependent on, what our new guys, our young guys, how they step up to the plate. And, it's going to be one of those things where kind of like those guys who graduated this past season, they played a lot as sophomores as well. And, they didn't have a whole lot of veteran guys, solid guys ahead of them. So, they were the offensive punch. And this group at least has some other older guys to fall back on. But, they're going to come out some games and play like seniors, and sometimes they're going to come out and play like, probably eighth graders. That's just typical for sophomores. But yeah, I think like I said, this summer I was real pleased with our efforts, and this fall the kids have come in and worked hard, and got a lot of guys who play multiple sports, just like Sean has here, and so we didn't get them in as much as we'd like all the time, but when we did, they came in and worked hard, and it's just going to be a interesting game for both of us, I think, for Sean to get a feel for his team and for me to get a feel for mine.
One glaring difference, though, between your ball club compared to Sean's is the fact that at least you've got two starters back to lean on a little bit, and you mentioned that just a moment ago. Talk to us a little bit about what Xavier means to you, being able to run the show out there offensively, and what Hunter means to you in the paint.
Yeah, I mean, Xavier, he can't say enough words. Like I've said this before, he would have started for me when he was in sixth grade. So if we were in Kentucky, he'd been my point guard for a number of years now. But unfortunately, I had to wait till he was a freshman, and he's stepped to the plate and done a tremendous job. And I'll be honest, I don't think he was the most skilled basketball player per se, but he just played so hard. I mean, he just played so hard defensively, and he handled the ball. But it wasn't like you look out there and say, hey, he's the just the most polished player ever. His shot wasn't that great. But I tell you, he's really worked at it. I mean, he has worked hard, and that's what makes him a winner, is because he does not rest on his laurels and just take what he's got and be happy with it. He just keeps getting better, and I mean, he's really become a very good shooter. He ended up setting our school record for three-point shooting last year. Excellent free throw shooter. He's got a mid-range pull-up. He gets to the rim. But the big thing about him is how he keeps us composed out there. And I don't think he tries to. He just plays, and everybody just feels more comfortable. And I know what they feel like, because I feel the same way. When he's out there, I feel better. He's got the ball in his hands, and he's going to get us where we need to go. And one of the good things about this summer, you look at it two different ways, I guess. There's a lot of times I was, kind of like wishing X was there. But he's such a good baseball player, and he travels with an elite program, and that's, we got no issue with that, because I know he's also working on basketball,
right.
And he's going to be there. And so I think we played about 13, 14 games, and I think he only made about 3 of them this year. But it was good for our other guys to get the opportunity, because we got to see how we're going to play when he's in foul trouble, or maybe he's under the weather, or who knows what. But he's definitely our catalyst, and a very important part of our team. Hunter on the other end.
And that was some of my conversation prior to tonight's tip with Salem head coach Hank Whedon, as well as hearing from Coach Smith on our Senator Tip-Off pregame show. Again, thanks for tuning in to our pregame coverage tonight, brought to you by John Jones GM City all season long. We're ready to run down the night's keys to victory, brought to you by John Jones GM City. First and foremost, Coach Gibson, under pressure. You hear that song, and it makes you think of our young guards, because that's what it's going to be all year long. They need to handle the run and jump tonight in half court and full court. Secondly, lanes and angles. What do I mean by that? It's all about the passing. We have to value our passing game in the half court, avoid long, lazy skip passes. We saw some of those last night in the girls' game that caused us some problems. So got to value the possessions, especially in our passing game. And then third and finally, maybe the biggest one of the night, rebounding, because as we said earlier, Whedon will get after it on the boards.
Yeah, I think a couple of those, your first and third, I really agree with as the under the pressure and the rebounding. I mean, with a young group like this, I mean, you really, I know it's going to sound weird. You need to have good things happen right at the very beginning. You can't give up a couple turnovers on the press. You can't dig down deep for 15 seconds, play nice defense. They throw a shot off the rim, and then they get the offensive board. So yeah, you are correct. We've got to have some good things happen right off the bat.
Those keys to victory brought to you by John Jones GM City, our pregame show sponsor. Call the good folks at John Jones GM City, 1-800-ISELL-GM, 473-5546. Check them out on the web at johnjonesautogroup.com or stop by their showroom and lot at 1450 South State Road 60 in Salem. John Jones GM City, you see so many because they pay so little. We'll come back with tonight's starting lineups and opening tip right after this. Welcome back inside of Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium here in Camelsburg, home to Ron Smith Court tonight, the season opener for both the Senators and the Lions. This annual Thanksgiving tradition, sure to be a crowd pleaser as always. Hopefully it's every bit as exciting as that 47-37 win for Clayton Sullivan's JV Senators in the opener here tonight. We've ran down our keys to victory. We've talked to both coaches. It's that time, folks. Let's run down tonight's starting lineups brought to you by John Jones GM City. First for the Salem Lions under the direction of Coach Hank Wheaton. He is 194 and 185 in his 18th season at Salem with a 51% winning percentage. Last year his group averaged just a shade under 70 points a game while giving up 57 per contest. Tonight, the Lions come in ranked 14th in Class 3A in the preseason poll, and they'll start more of a three-guard set. Number 22, Xavier Hendrigus, will start at the point. He's a 5'9 junior. Joining him in the backcourt, number 10, Landon Suvac, 5'9 and a junior. Up front, really more of a three flex position, more of a guard than forwards. Number 4, Myron Mead, 6'3 and a sophomore. Up front on the blocks, number 15, Hunter Wheaton, 6'3 and a senior. He is the party crasher on the glass, along with number 5, Blake Miller, 6'3 and a senior as well for Coach Hank Wheaton and the Lions. For West Washington, under the direction of Coach Smith, beginning his fourth season in the Berg, he is 52 and 27 with a 66% winning percentage, back-to-back sectional titles under his belt, and a regional win 2 seasons ago. His team last year averaged just over 62 points per game while giving up 53.5 per contest. Senators come in ranked 16th in Class 1A in the preseason poll. They will start a three-guard set here tonight. Number 22, Holden Bousman. Can't believe I just said that. He will start as a freshman here tonight. 6 foot and a freshman. He'll start at the point. He'll be joined in the backcourt by the senior, number 10, Camden Zink, 6 foot and a senior, and number 14, Mikey Nichols, 5'10 and a junior. Up front on one block, number 20, Dakota Smith, starts at a forward spot. He's 6 foot and a junior. Accompanying him will be the other senior on this squad, number 34, Nick Mars, 6'3 and a senior for Coach Sean Smith's Senators. This series, the last 15 years, there's been 23 meetings, including regular season and holiday tournament matchups. Salem leads that series over the last 15 years. with a 16-7 margin. Sean Smith, 3 meetings in his 3 years previous here in Camelsburg, and he's dropped every one of those 3 decisions to the Lions. So he's looking to get the lion or monkey, if you will, off his back here tonight. In the last meeting on November 23rd, last year up at the Lions Den, Everett Esteem Court, it was Salem who prevailed 75-48, the final in that one. Rocking, good environment in here, both cheer blocks loud. This place is just about filled to the gills. This place holds 2,096, and it's not too far from standing room. Only a few empty seats in the house, but not that many as people settled in for a long holiday weekend ready to see some good basketball. We hope to do the same here on the Ron Smith Court tonight. This evening, your Indiana High School Athletic Association officiating crew will be Mr. Kevin Chrisman and Mark Chrisman, the brothers out of Charlestown, as well as Mr. Tim Stroud from Orleans. And we're about to get set. Senators in the home whites trimmed in blue and red, blue letters and numerals. Salem Lions in those road black uniforms trimmed in white and gold, gold letters and numerals as we're set to get underway. Again, Bousman, Nichols, and Dakota Smith all making their first career starts here tonight for Sean Smith's ball club, tip owned by the Lions. And away we go, folks, with the 2017-2018 basketball season for both these clubs as the Senators open up in a little 3-2 matchup look. Nichols out top of the zone. Bousman and Zink on the wings. Quick deflection into the cheer block area in the far corner. And Tim Stroud will reset to Hunter Whedon across the way. Just 16 seconds into this matchup. Senators aggressive with the feet and the hands, trying to close out on shooters as they go a 4-out, 1-in set. Do the Lions. Mead fires it cross court to Suvak. Suvak corner. Whedon pull-up jumper, 18-footer, won't go. Mead offensive rebound, though, for the Lions, and he'll be fouled on the floor. Kevin Chrisman with the quick whistle, but good glass work on the offensive glass for Myron Mead and the Lions. Foul will be on the floor. First foul of the night for either club goes against Camden Zink. And they'll reset underneath Salem will as they have Hendigas trigger it in, and now they kick it back out top to the junior guard, Suvak. Suvak gives it off center circle now. He's going to be picked up by Mikey Nichols. Senators go man on this trip. Box set for the Lions. Whedon tries to muscle his way in. Can't get the basket. Being walled up by Dakota Smith. Dakota trying not to give up much ground, but Whedon trying to bulldoze his way in. Going to draw contact.
Didn't seem like that bad of defense. Actually, we actually forced him underneath the basket, but officials felt that they got him just a little bit on the arm.
They're actually going to call Zink for this one, so that'll be 2 quick ones on him, and wasting no time, we're going to see the other freshman that we expect to see a lot of this year at the varsity level. Parker Green checks in. Parker's a 6-foot freshman, played well in the JV quarter he got tonight. So 2 freshmen out there to run the backcourt for West Washington along with Nichols. Whedon missed the first free throw, got the second one to go, and Salem has the early 1-0 advantage on the scoreboard. Just about a minute into this opening night game for both clubs. Ball deflected away by Whedon as they try to go to Dakota Smith in the corner. Senators will reset as it'll be Parker Green set to inbound. This is so surreal and so weird, saying Parker and Holden's names during a varsity contest. But Parker inbounds to Nichols. Right back to Bousman. So Nichols out at the center circle.
They were both very impressive in the JV game quarters that they had.
You are correct. Holden fires deep 3, left corner, won't go. Offensive rebound for Nichols. Senators will get a second shot at it. 6:45 and counting. First quarter of play from the Ron Smith court. Misty Jones alongside of Mark Gibson. Craig Akers running the live stream. Senators trailing at 1-0 here early off of a made free throw by Hunter Whedon. Minute and a half gone by. Senators trying to be patient in the half court, doing a nice job of running that Gonzaga 4-out, 1-in pick and roll offense. They'll skip corner to Bousman, and he'll step on the line. Game's first turnover of the night goes to West Washington.
It was a good job. Senators didn't press. They just ran their offense, but unfortunately, a little bit of a high pass, and Holden had his toenail on the line.
Whedon with it, right wing. Gives it up out top to Miller, who swings it to Mead. Back out top now to Hendigas. Hendigas over to Whedon in front of the cheer block for West Washington. Nowhere to go with it. as he's forced to give it up. And now the Lions will play pitch and catch out on the perimeter. Whedon will drive, kick. Hendigas, 3, corner pocket, won't go in and out, no good. And Meade tries to go over the back of Parker Green, and that'll be the first foul of the night against the Lions. And for Meade, of course, his first as well. Again, Meade getting the start tonight as a 6'3 sophomore guard/forward spot. 5:54 and counting underway here in Campbellsburg in this long-time rivalry matchup. Nice flex cut underneath. Nichols blows the wide-open layup for West Washington. Rebound cleared out by Miller and company for Salem. Hendigas quickly into the front court. Senators in a little man-to-man defense. Little nickel look as Hendigas clears some space against Nichols, and the ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lions.
Nice job by Nichols keeping his feet and his chest right in front of Hendigas, and Hendigas actually kind of got away with a little push-off there.
Hendigas goes back to work. He resets the offense. Little elbow jumper right side will go. Nice looking smooth stroke for Suvak coming off the little curl screen, and it's a 3-0 advantage for the Lions here to start.
This is where the Senators, I can't press here. Just got to run your offense. They just need to see the basket go through the hoop, and they'll be fine.
2 juniors, a senior, and 2 freshmen on the floor right now for Coach Smith. Bousman, Green, along with Dakota Smith, Mikey Nichols, and the senior, Nick Mars. 5:13 to play. Senators will trigger it in across the way in front of the Lynx family. It's courtside tonight. Take in all the action as Bousman controls right side. Gives it up to Nichols now at the center circle. They'll work the dribble between the circles. Come right side now on the wing to Bousman. Pick and roll. Couldn't find anything, so he gives it up out top to Mars. And now back to Nichols. Nichols drives left side, cut off. No real estate left for him as he'll dribble back out of trouble and reset the offense once again. Green comes out with Bousman to the wings. They go to Bousman's side on the left. Now to Dakota Smith. Dribble handoff. Trying to get something on a pick and roll situation, and they can't get anything right now as they're content just to work it around the perimeter as well. Bousman picked up by Meade. Now off the switch. Miller picks him up. Mars controls out front. Ball bobbled by Nichols. He stops, thought about popping, give it up instead to Nick. And now we'll get a foul. Salem fans wanted perhaps a travel. And the foul's going to go on the X-Man for the Lions, Xavier Hendigas. That'll be their second, his first. And we'll see Gavin Smith, a 6'2 sophomore, check in for his first varsity minutes of the night. Dakota Smith gets a well-deserved breather. Little 3-man stack, a ball side elbow. Green to trigger it in. Parker looks, gives it up to his classmate, Bousman. Back out to Nichols. 3-ball on the way. Couldn't get it to go. Rebound fought for. And one Chrisman brother called out of bounds. Another one called a foul. And Mark's going to tag Gavin Smith with the quick over the back. So Gavin wasted no time getting into the box score with a foul. 4:21 to play, first quarter. 3-0 Salem on top.
Yeah, that was good patient offense. We just can't find the bottom of the basket right now, but it'll come. We just got to keep being patient and keep digging down defensively.
Salem back to work on the offensive end, leading at 3-0. Low-scoring affair thus far. They're trying to get Whedon in the post. Mismatch as Nichols is trying to guard him. They'll switch back now, and Mars knocks it away. No one home to take it up. And so it'll stay with the Lions. Smith didn't have his head turned for the scoop. Hendigas had it poked away. Meade saves it underneath. Hendigas couldn't get it to go. Nice rebound, though, by Gavin Smith and West Washington. Bousman now in control, comes into the front court, gives it short corner, right side, fadeaway jumper won't go for Mars, and the rebound's cleared out by Suvak. Lions off and running, left side, Whedon stops, pops, 15-footer, got it to go. Bottom of the barrel for Whedon. He's got 3 of the team's 5. And the Senators yet to get on the scoreboard. They've had some opportunities, but they trail at 5-0 here with 3:23 and counting to go in the first quarter of play. Back out front, Bousman, dangerous pass to Smith on the ball reversal, now to Green, left side. Green, he'll dribble out of trouble, one dribble, gives it up now in the corner to Nichols. Nichols now bring it out front and say, let's reset it one more time. Coming up on the 3-minute mark of this opening quarter of play from Campbellsburg. Senators and Lions getting on here in the season opener for both clubs this evening. Senators patient, go top of the key to Smith, now back to Bousman. We'll get a screen. They miss Smith on the roll as he had his man pinned. And they'll settle for yet another ball reversal. Senators being very patient for such a young team, Coach. We wondered how well they would do staying patient in the half-court sets as they go underneath. Smith, nice scoop shot. Tries to go around Miller, couldn't get it to go, though. Lions come up with a defensive rebound, and Suvak now controls out top. Swinging around now to Whedon. His 3 way off from the left side. Rebound fought for, and Bousman comes out of there with it.
they're playing really good defense, and they're being patient with their offense. I mean, we just need to knock one down.
3 ball won't go for Smith off the feed from Holden. And the Lions back in business again. Hendigas, quick first step. Got it partially blocked in there. And it will go to the other end. 5-on-4. Senators can't take advantage. And then Nichols throws it away trying to hit the trailer. He throws it behind Mars. Second turnover of the night for West Washington.
Just being too quick. I mean, we've been patient the whole time, the whole quarter. Then he gets a nice little deflection, and Mikey gets a rebound and brings it up just over half court. Is that a place where you want to pick up your dribble? Absolutely not. You know, that's probably the first mistake we've made.
The 2 with the bugaboo on that last possession. Both Mars and Nichols check out as Hunter Sanford checks into, or excuse me, Harrison. I'm going to do that a lot. I've got a feeling. Harrison Sanford checks into the ball game. The younger brother of Hunter Sanford, 6'2" and a sophomore, back in, as well as Caden Abels, a 5'8" junior, seeing his first minutes of the night. So Coach Smith, a little Rolodex substitution going on. We'll also see Jake Strange check in. He's 6'4" and a freshman, so we'll have 3 freshmen perhaps on the floor at one time. Foul on West Washington goes against Gavin Smith as he picks up his second. This will be the team's 4th of the night. Smith checks out with 2 personals. He'll sit down with Zink, who has 2 quick ones. So as we expected to see at some point, a lot of youth, a junior, a sophomore, and 3 freshmen. The big 3 for that freshman class in right now.
So this is a chance where you...
Who was that that shot that free throw?
Whedon. Now
So
we got
Lions
to get back to being patient, especially with 3 freshmen on the court. Would be nice to get a nice little back screen or something and get a nice, easy layup. I mean, that would help the confidence so much.
Jake Strange in the paint, travels with it off the little pick and roll action. He got what he wanted, but forgot to put the rock on the floor on the bounce. Miller will check out, and number 32, Shane Mahiran, a 5'11" sophomore, will check into the ball game for Coach Whedon. We'll also see number 24, Colin McCartney, check in.
124 left to go. We've got to get something going here. This is a pretty big 121 in my estimation. I mean, you know, it's early first quarter, but you know, you can't let them get another couple baskets and then all of a sudden it's 10-0, 11-0 going into the second. We need something good to happen, like we talked about in the open.
Lions also used Brandon Corbett in this first quarter, 5'10" and a sophomore, so some young faces in, a junior and 2 sophomores for Coach Whedon on that last exchange, as we've got about a minute to play. Minute 2, minute 1. Parker Green, 3 ball, got it to go. Nothing but the bottom of the barrel for the freshman as he gets his first career points and ends the drought for West Washington. And about the 56-second mark of this first quarter of play, 7-3. Holden Bousman with the steal, first turnover of the night for the Lions. Nice spin move in the paint, razzle dazzle, and Holden got the basket to fall. So the freshman dynamic duo of Green and Bousman giving a little late surge to this Senator offense, breathing some life into something that had been quite stagnant through the first 7+ minutes of this quarter. It's 7-5. And the Lions now struggling a little bit with the basketball as they turn it over, and that's their second. Coach Gibson, the tide starting to turn, and they say basketball's a game of runs, and we're seeing that in action in this first quarter as Nichols will check back in and Bousman will get a well-deserved breather.
Well, they've done a good job of just sticking with it. You know, it was 7-0. We couldn't find the bottom of the basket. And then all of a sudden, you get a deflection here, a steal there. You get an open look where a young guy, number 12, one of our many youngsters,
yep.
Parker Green, and his first varsity shot, he drained nothing but the bottom of the net. So, and now it's a game again. So now the butterflies should be gone. Now let's get ready to rock and roll here.
Abels with Nichols, Sanford, Strange, and Green. 10 seconds to play. Sanford, fall away hook shot, baseline right side, won't go. Miller clears the board for the Lions. They control. Hendigas to Suvac, right side, kicks it back to Hendigas. Time will expire, and a great first quarter of play defensively for the Senators as they hold the Lions to just 7, and they finally come to life in the final 56 seconds of the period, put up 5 from the freshman connection of Green and Bousman, and we'll roll into the second quarter of play in a low-scoring affair. 7-5, Salem leads it after 1 quarter of action. You're listening to the Senators tonight on your home for Southern Indiana sports coverage, WSLM 1220 on the AM dial.
tonight's game. It's time to introduce the starting lineup. And the crowd is on their feet, and they're going wild. And here comes the new players. We've got the quarter pounders coming in tonight, alongside the chicken classic sandwiches. Playing forward tonight, we have got one-of-a-kind McWrap. Guarding your hunger, it looks like we've got McDouble and McChicken coming in. And starting in the center court tonight will be Big Mac. Look on the sideline, folks. We have Chicken McNuggets cheering tonight alongside those golden delicious fries. Hot and always ready. You'll score points every time you bring the family into Salem McDonald's, right here on Main Street, before or after the game. Don't forget to top off your favorite meal with a cold soft drink, that famous Mickey D sweet tea, or something from their full line of smoothies and McCafe coffee drinks. Order inside to 11, or get that one-of-a-kind taste 24 hours at the drive-thru. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Back to action as we open up the second quarter of play. Senators have it to start the period. Ball was poked away on the initial possession by West Washington, so they'll reset as they start the period with Abels, Nichols, Sanford, Mars, and Green. Long three off the mark, no good for Nichols. Nice rebound by Whedon over Mars. And Mars will pick up the personal foul for West Washington as they go dry on their first possession of the second quarter of play. Again, the Senators go just a shade over 7 minutes before finally getting their first basket. A three ball from the right side by Parker Green. Holden adds a basket on a steal and layup going coast to coast. Salem with 2 turnovers in the first quarter make it 3 as they give it away on that possession. And then Nichols gives it right back. Turnover number 4. First one of the period for West Washington. Whedon crosses over against Mars. Wild pull-up jumper somehow goes, and Whedon putting the team on his back early as he's doing most of the work. He's got 7 of the team's 9 as we are 59 seconds in to this second quarter of play. Bousman will check in on the next dead ball for West Washington.
Pressure here.
Salem applying that full court. Looks like a little bit of a diamond press as Coach Smith paces the sideline. 6:44 and counting. Again, 9-5. Salem in front. Senators yet to lead as the Lions opened up with a 5-0 first quarter for a long time, and then Parker Green able to breathe life into the Senator offense in the closing minute of that first quarter. He drills another one from downtown. Parker's got 6 of the team's 8, so it's a battle between him and Whedon offensively. Jumper won't go for Suvac. Rebound fought for. Green couldn't come up with it. Kick out. Suvac again, top of the key, won't go. Whedon, offensive rebound, had it blocked. Nice job defensively by West Washington. So Whedon gets the offensive board and the miss off the Suvac three-point shot. And the Lions, despite a couple of opportunities, dry on the possession. Senators a chance to take their first lead, trailing at 9-8. 5:53 and counting, second quarter of play. Abels, left side, looking for the screen from Harrison Sanford. Decides not to take the roll action off of it. Coach Smith will direct traffic and have him back it out to reset. But I really like the energy I'm seeing from our young guys, Coach.
Well, after that initial, like you said, 7 minutes where there might have been some butterflies, they've settled down. We're playing. We're patient offensively. Mars for 3.
Couldn't get it to go. Whedon clears off the long rebound back out to the top of the key. Lions back in action. McCartney with it. Gives it off now on the wing to Suvac, deep left side. And he'll throw it back out to Hendy. He'll control between the circles. Sends it right side to Whedon. Arm bar against Mars. Clear space. Count it and 1. Not so sure he didn't clear space with that arm bar, though, off the dribble drive. And Whedon continues his hot start for the evening as he has 9 of the team's 11. He'll try an old-fashioned three-point play.
Yeah, I agree. I think I just see his heading into the lane. He got a little chicken wing out there, but that's also somebody didn't rotate or something. We didn't stop the dribble, the penetration into the lane to begin with. So I'm sure Coach isn't very happy about that. So, I mean, we just got to keep playing, dig down, keep playing defense, make sure we're communicating, make sure we're rotating, and we'll be fine.
Whedon finishes the old-fashioned three-point play, make it 12-8. Senators and Lions locked in a low-scoring battle as Green triggers it in. And he'll control the dribble now. Gives it up off the double team to Smith. Nice ball reversal on the press break to Nichols. Right side, nothing there, so he pulls it out. Mars came out on that last exchange as well as Abels for West Washington. Bousman took the screen, thought about 3, instead gives it up to Sanford. Now dribble handoff left side to Green, back to Smith. Smith to Nichols. Senators still working in that little weave action out top. Again, more of a 4-out, 1-in. Holden deep three, top of the key. Couldn't get it to go. Nice followed by Sanford. He couldn't get it on the putback attempt as he skied for the offensive rebound. And the Lions back in control offensively. And Whedon stops off the trailer shot. Shot at one about 3 feet behind the three-point line, and then getting the offensive rebound and putback was Gavin Fleming, a 6-foot sophomore who's checked in for his first minutes of the night. And finally, someone other than Whedon scores for the Lions. 14-8, 4:20 to play in this second quarter of action. We'll step aside, get a quick word from a sponsor, and come back with more of this first half action right after this.
This is Kate, and this is my Walmart.
This is Kevin, and this is my Walmart.
This is Alicia, and this is my Walmart. This is Jessica, and this is my Walmart.
We're all part of Walmart, and we're all part of the local community. Walmart has contributed hundreds and thousands of dollars to the Salem and Washington County community in the past year. We've raised money for Salem's flood victims, local fundraisers, and donated to local law enforcement, the Community Foundation, and many other civic and private groups in the county. We're here to serve you with our unbeatable service and quality products and everyday low prices. I'm Jeff Rampy, and this is Salem's Walmart.
So many questions for this young Senator team as we come back to action here. Didn't know what to expect with so many baby faces, if you will. So many guys getting their first taste of the varsity limelight here tonight, but they're hanging tough. 14-8. Senators, though, throw it away on the press break as Sanford couldn't handle the pass from Bausman into the front court. That's only the Senators' 5th turnover in this half. Salem's given it up 3 times, so not too bad offensively as far as taking care of the rock, and defensively we've been good. We just can't get some key shots to go down. It's been wide open looks.
Right now they have 3 offensive rebounds in this second quarter alone right now. So, you know, you just got to make sure with such a young team, sometimes a couple of those turnovers where they just weren't right in sync with each other. It takes a little while for that.
3-ball Green, that one in and out, no good. And Whedon clears yet another rebound for the Lions. Hindigus will push, crossover, first step, a quick one, and Whedon with the follow, couldn't get it to go. Second offensive rebound, swatted out there by Bausman. On the run now, Sanford, little hesitation, goes to the rack and got it to go. Nice move by Sanford as Harrison's got his first points of the night, and it's 14-10. Nice hesitation move by Sanford off that left wing. And then we're going to get a poke away, and it'll stay with the Lions, but Coach Whedon trying to direct some traffic. These young guys getting after it, Coach.
That's what, and good things lead to even better things. You can tell when somebody does something good, that next possession seems like, okay, there's a little bit more energy. So, you know, with a young team, sometimes they feed off some good things, and it just keeps building. They got to make sure they keep maintaining that.
Senators rolling right now with Green, Bausman, Sanford, Smith, and Harrison Sanford. We're going to have a turnover off an offensive foul. Player control going to go against number 24, Colin McCartney. He tried to clear some space. That's his first one of the night, and only the 3rd foul against the Lions. Senators have committed 6, so despite the possibility of a player control foul, the Lions will shoot bonus the rest of the half. 3:01 and counting as Green nearly has it poked away. Bausman gives it to Nichols now. 3-on-2 break. Beautiful feed, and again another one from Sanford as he gets the dish and the dime. And dropping it in the piggy bank was Dakota Smith getting his first points of the night. Senators on a nice little run, and another player control as they take a player control. And Whedon's going to pick up the personal on the charge, and this place about to erupt, including a proud papa to our left. Coach Bausman hops up, likes the effort as they take the charge from Whedon, and you got to take one of those at least once a game with a young group. You got to be willing to roll the dice and take a chance. Every once in a while, that one paid off as the Senators get it back offensively.
As much as he's trying to penetrate into the lane, we need to take a couple of them.
Nice feed again, and that's going to be 2 on Whedon as the feed went cross court. Sanford tried to feed underneath to Dakota Smith. Nice pump fake, got Whedon in the air, and Whedon picks up 2 back-to-back fouls, Coach, and already 5 against the Lions. So Dakota Smith to the free throw line with a chance to tie it. First one is up and off the backboard. I don't know if he called that bank or not, Coach, but apparently the bank's keeping some long holiday hours.
The banks are still open the day before Thanksgiving, so that's fine.
3 for Dakota Smith. Chance for our first tie since it was all zeros, and we got it. Dakota's got 4 on the night, 2 for 2 on that trip, and we're tied at 14 apiece. 2.5 to play in this first half of action. Senators on the work end of this defensive trip, trying to buckle down. Little runner in the paint, won't go for Suback. Strong rebound for Harrison Sanford. Again, the younger brother of Hunter Sanford, part of that nucleus of 6 seniors that departed due to graduation in the spring. Bousman controls across the timeline, right side to Green, stops, nowhere to go with it. Picked up by Fleming. Cross courts at the Bousman. 3 on the way, couldn't get it to go. Strong rebound by McCartney. Lions will have a chance to build. 2-minute warning here in this first half. 14-14. Probably not what a lot of the fans, especially Salem fans, expected to see. Both of these, fan bases used to seeing such high-powered offenses the last couple of years with all those seniors and getting up and down. But a 14-14 low-scoring battle, kind of shades of the old Greg Dean days here in the Bird.
That's right. But I tell you what, and it's not like it's bad offense either. Nobody's taken really wild shots. I think the defense has been really good, and other than a couple of offensive boards by Salem, everybody's finding a guy, checking him out, and getting rebounds. It's been a really well-played game.
So off the foul by Mikey Nichols. That's team foul number 7 for West Washington, and that sends Gavin Fleming, the 6-foot sophomore, to the line for the 1 and bonus. He soaked the first one. He's got 3 on the night. Make it now 15-14 as Salem reclaims the lead, their second of the night. They've never trailed or been tied at 14 just a moment ago. Fleming gets the job done as he knocks them both down. He'll get a well-deserved breather in Brandon Corbin, Salem Lions quarterback. The sophomore checks back in for this final minute and a half plus of the half. Bousman with the turnover, trying to feed Jake Strange in the paint to the other end. Hindigus got undercut, no foul, but he's able to finish for his first layup and basket of the night. 18-14. Senators got to maintain some composure here, not rush anything. Cross court, Green to Bousman, extra pass to Smith, nowhere to go with it. Back to Bousman, right in front of his 3. Got it! Got it from deep on the right side. Holden with his first triple of the night, and it's 18-17.
There's a nice little find by Dakota Smith, too. He got the entry pass and fed it right back out to Holden.
18-17, Senators trailing by 1. Corbin, left side, nearly lost the handle, works against Green. Green out to pressure, 5 counts on. 1 minute to play in this first half. It's been an excellent first half to watch as a fan, as Smith tried to step in and take the charge. But Hindigus gets away, a little bit of contact, and it's 20-17 as he gives the Lions a 3-point edge. Lions come out in a little 1-3-1. Bousman, top of the key, tried to break the ice with another one. Half minute to play. Let's see if Salem tries to hold for 1. Corbin back out to Suback. He'll split 2 guys, go in, and able to finish off the little runner. Suback now has 4, and it's 22-17. Senators need to be patient against the zone. Green has it on the wing. They go underneath the Strange. He turns, goes off glass, couldn't get it to go. Ball ping-pongs around into the hands of Blake Miller for the Lions. And now Hindigus will slow it up as he walks into the front court. 8 seconds, 7, 6, on the dribble, spins, in the lane, little floater to go. And 6 straight points by Xavier Hindigus, enough to be the difference as this first half's going to come to a close. The Senators will go into the locker room trailing it 24-17, but you got to like the grit, the determination, and the effort from these young guys in this first half of play, especially considering they went over 7 minutes in that first quarter before finally putting their first points of the new basketball season on the board. But they'll go into the locker room, as I said, trailing it 24-17. Coach Gibson and I will step aside. We'll take a break. We'll start adding up our stats, and we'll come back to begin our Eddie Gilstrap Motors Senator halftime report right after this word from a few of our sponsors.
hello, police. Yeah, I just hit a deer. Well, the deer actually hit me, right? But I need a wrecker for my truck. See, the whole front end is really smashed in. Now, the deer didn't make it, but it sure looks like a 12-pointer. Hey, I'd like to be towed to Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center. Yeah, you know, the one at 1008 West Mulberry Street in Salem. Well, just the other day, Bill, my buddy, he had his Ford Mustang redone there, and it looks like it did back in 1965. Even better. Well, they accept most major insurances, and they work with you to get a rental and get you back on the road with genuine parts for your vehicle. Not like some body shops that make their repairs out of the local junkyard. Yeah, right. You know, let Paul know it's me and that the truck will be coming in. He's a great guy. He knows the repair business like the back of his hand. The deer? Nah, he's not going to process that. Just the truck. Yeah, Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center, or call Paul at 812-883-3481.
Channel Seedsmanship. It's about being in your fields, giving you expert advice, knowing your fields almost as well as you do, and selecting elite seed products to help maximize your profitability. When it comes to getting the most out of your acres and your operation, put your trust in a Channel Seedsman. For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact me, Brady Bishop, at 812-620-4624. Go Senators.
Since 1937, Eddie Gilstrap Motors has been proud to call Washington County home. As you cheer for your team tonight, we'd like to thank you for your business and continued support. Best wishes to the Lions, Senators, and Musketeers this season.
Back to begin our halftime report, brought to you all season long by the good folks on South Main Street, just south of the square in Salem, Eddie Gilstrap Motors. As you just heard from them, Senators trailing it as they go into the locker room down 24-17 here at the half to their county and arch rival, the Salem Lions. But a drastically different story than what we had this time last year, where the Senators were on the struggle bus for much of that contest and got routed 75-48 last year. Some new, fresh faces, some youth playing well, living up to the moment on the big stage at the varsity level here tonight. And though it took them a while to get going offensively, Coach, we got a glimpse into what could be an exciting 2, 3, 4-year stretch here for Senator basketball.
Absolutely. And yeah, it took, what did you say? It took us about 7 minutes to get started, really, to really see a bucket go into the basket. And after that, played really well defensively, really patient offensively. But actually, it was 18-17, if I'm not mistaken, with like a minute 10 to go, and Salem scores the last 6 of the half, so it makes it a 7-point game at the half. So I mean, other than just right there at the end, I think it was a minute 10 left, and the Senators actually, and I think even some of the fans were stunned, like, whoa, what are all these young guys out here doing? Well, they're playing basketball, and they've been playing basketball for many years. So I don't think this stage is too big. They've been to many AAU tournaments, and so, you know, that's just the way it is these days. I mean, if you have some really good freshmen, they've been exposed to some big-time basketball when they're young. With all the travel ball and AAU, I mean, obviously that you could tell they were a little nervous coming out, but this stage is not too big for these freshmen and sophomores, definitely.
And you're right, Coach. Just to take fans back to recap a little bit, it took until about the 56-second mark of the first quarter before Parker Green finally got the Senator offense rolling with a big three-point shot. And then the Senators managed to get some baskets strung together, get a little bit of momentum. They took a charge, had the crowd behind them, got it to a one-point game at 18-17, but then Xavier Hendigas for the Salem Lions able to kind of take over in that last minute and a half of that first half of play as he reels off 6 straight, all 6 of his points coming in that short span to give the Lions some breathing room here at the half. Let's run down some individual scoring here for both clubs. We'll start with Salem, 24 points at the half. They're able to play a number of guys. In fact, they go 9 deep in that first half of play. Starter Xavier Hendigas was 6 points, again, all in that last minute and a half or so stretch of the first half of play on 3 2-point field goals. Landon Suvak with 4 points, a basket in each quarter for him. Myron Meade started but did not score. Hunter Weed had 10 of the team's 24 in that first half, and he was also able to get to the line quite a bit. In fact, he hit 4 out of 5 for 80% from the charity stripe in that first 16 minutes of play. Blake Miller, the other starter, also did not tally for Coach Wheaton and the Lions. Brandon Corbin, Shane Mahiran, Colin McCartney, and Gavin Fleming all come off the bench for the Salem Lions in that first half of action. None of them tally except for Fleming, who was able to chip in 4 points, a 2-point field goal, and 2 of 2 free throw shooting. So the Lions go 6 of 7 in the first half for 86% from the charity stripe. They commit 5 turnovers, 2 in the first quarter of play and 3 in the second period of action. Salem did not use a timeout in that first half of play. Meanwhile, on the flip side of the scorebook, West Washington again took a while to join the offensive party, but once they arrived, they started making things very interesting as Coach Smith also goes pretty deep. In fact, he's able to bring 5 guys off the bench tonight, so he's 10 deep into his roster, using a variety of lineups, trying to find some chemistry early. Holden Bousman with 5 points at the half. He's got a 3-point make and a 2-point make, one coming in each quarter for the freshman point guard. Zink and Nichols go scoreless in the backcourt as starters for the Senators in that first half of action. Dakota Smith chips in 4, a 2-point basket, and 2 of 2 free throw shooting in that second period of play. Nick Mars scoreless as well for West Washington in the half. Harrison Sanford, Parker Green, Caden Abels, Jake Strange, and Gavin Smith all come off of the bench for the West Washington Senators, and Parker Green and Harrison Sanford do some scoring as Sanford, as we got a little public address announcement here from Athletic Director Philip Bousman talking about the Senator wrestling team making their first ever competitive appearance up at Edgewood today, doing well at that invitational. But Harrison Sanford, Parker Green able to get on the board off the bench. Harrison chips in a 2-point make off that nice hesitation move on the break in the first half. And Parker Green with a couple of big 3-point baskets as well. He scored the team's first points of the night at the 56-second mark of that first quarter of play. So the Senators 17 points in all in that first half. They go 2 of 2 from the free throw line for 100%. They commit 6 giveaways, 3 in each period for Coach Smith's ball club. After 1 quarter of play, it was 7-5 in favor of the Salem Lions, and then the Lions outscore the Senators 17-12 in that second quarter of play to take a 24-17 advantage into the locker room. Coach Gibson, you want to go ahead and give us some stats?
2-point field goals for the Senators, 3 of 9 for 33%. For the Lions, 9 of 15 for 60. I mean, I think that's a case of the Lions there in the second quarter got into the lane a lot. They shot a lot of layups or 4-foot floaters. So that's one thing in the second half we're going to have to be able to do better, is to keep them in all 6 of those last field points in the first half are right at the bucket. So we got to keep them out of the lane. 3-point for the Senators, 3 of 12. For 25%, and that it's not like they've been bad shots. We just haven't been knocking them down. And if people keep leaving us open like that, we're going to have some success over the the season. Salem has yet to hit a 3-pointer, 0 for 4. You already did the free throws. We were 2 for 2. They were 6 of 7. Assists, Senators 4 to 3 assists for the Lions. The Senators have 3 steals. Holden Bousman has 2 of them, and 2 blocks. Holden and Parker Green has a block. Salem has 2 steals, 1 for Hendigas and 1 for Whedon. And one of the telling aspects of the first half, they've out-rebounded us 15-7. So, and then they have 5 offensive boards. So, we got to shore that area up, and we got to keep them out of the paint.
Try to get Coach Bousman on maybe after the ball game to talk a little bit about the wrestling team's success today at Edgewood. Of course, we have some guys that did a really nice job up at Edgewood today, had some success, was able to win some of their individual matches, and we'll talk to Coach Bousman perhaps afterward. You come down in the post game to talk to us a little bit. We'll do it afterward. Want to catch afterward as the second half's about ready to resume here as Lions will have it to start this third quarter of play. Things starting to heat up in the gym, including the temperature. We need to kick on some air. I may be passed out before this thing's over. Hendigas with the lob underneath. Whedon couldn't handle it. Volleyballs it out of bounds. And that sure looked like that went off of Whedon as it went to the front row of the Salem cheer block.
It looked like over here that he knocked it out, but none of our players seemed to disagree, so somebody must have hit it.
Little box set for Salem underneath. Hendigas to trigger it in. Gives it outside to Meade. As Salem goes back with their original starting 5. Whedon with the shot off the mark, no good. Hendigas underneath, nice offensive rebound and putback. So he'll pick up where he left off, give him 8 in the game as he finished the first half with the last 6 points for either club. Just over a half minute into this third quarter of play as Salem builds their largest lead of the night now at 26-17.
Again, it was great defense, but second chance points. Offensive rebound leads to a layup.
Mars, Nichols, Bousman, Zink, and Smith out there for West Washington. Again, the original 5 as Bousman lost the handle, had it poked away in the corner, and it will stay with West Washington. Zink got in early foul trouble with 2 quick ones, and he's now back into the contest. 54 seconds in to the third period. Misty Jones alongside of Mark Gibson as Bousman's 3 wide open off the inbounds play will not go again. So another wide open look that just would not fall as Whedon will go quickly and almost out of control into the interior, and then he decided to kick it out and slow things up. Takes it off the bounce, gives it underneath. Miller's hook shot won't go, and Dakota Smith clears a strong rebound. So Salem having some shooting woes as well, not able to get some easy ones to fall as Zink has it in the corner and gives it back out to Bousman. Now over to Smith, cutter through the paint, that's Zink. And Smith stands and holds, gives it up now to Nichols as Coach Smith will direct traffic, continue teaching, and there has been a lot of that, Coach, in the first couple of weeks of practice. Again, able to see quite a few glimpses into the practices, and it's all of the coaches coaching, not just Coach Smith and teaching. As Smith, nowhere to go, cut off with the dribble, had to kick it out to Mars. He tries to go cross court, and there's one of those passes we talked about in the pregame. Turnover number 7 for West Washington to Suvak. He's out of control and couldn't finish. Rebound tipped around. Miller has it, kicks it out to Hennigas, and he'll slow it up and reset for the Lions. Just over 2 minutes gone by in the period, and we'll have a foul on West Washington. Green and Sanford will check back in. Foul's going to go against Zink, so he picks up that third quick one. First foul of the half for either ball club.
Things are going to have to start. I mean, this is a pretty crucial 2.5 minutes, don't you think? Coming out of half, they got an offensive rebound with an easy putback. We've turned it over, missed a shot. You know, if we don't be careful, and you can't have the lazy passes like last possession. Things could turn around in a big way and in a hurry.
The 2 seniors check out as Hendigas knocks down both free throws, so give him 10 straight points now in the ball game as he's kind of taken over, and he's given Salem their first double-digit lead of the night at 28-17. And Coach Smith right now, little basketball one-on-one, coaching up his 2 seniors as he talks to Mars about that cross-court pass. And while that's going on, Mark Crispin with a whistle against the Lions, their first of the half, and that one goes against Suvak, who picks up his first of the night. Sanford gets it off the long inbounds pass. Bosman's going to get it right back as Holden holds now between the circles, sends it right side to Green. Green with the screen from Smith, nowhere to go with it. He'll back it out as he works against Meade. Freshman against sophomore right now for these 2 ball clubs. Bousman works against Suvak. Brings it out top between the legs, tries to feed in the post, kick ball by Miller, who jumps out at 6'3", a little bit of advantage in length over Holden, and he pokes it away, so the Senators will reset. Again, trailing for the first time tonight by double digits at 28-17, but they have hung tough all night long. Bousman now to Nichols, out top. He'll work against Hendigas as he backs him out now to the W at center court. Bousman controls now on the right side. Back to Smith on the ball. Reversal. Get a little dribble handoff. Nichols thought about the stop and pop. They give it up now to Green. Instead, he looks for room to try to shoot and has to give it back to Smith. Continuous ball movement around the perimeter. That's been the case all night in this Gonzaga style of motion pick and roll offense as they finally go underneath to Harrison Sanford. Almost said Hunter again. He got the friendly roll as he ends a scoring drought and ends Hendigas' reign of terror as he had 10 straight spanning from the closing minute and a half of the second quarter of play into this third quarter, as Sanford now has 4 on the night. Three-pointer by Hunter Whedon, his first triple of the night, first one of the night for the Lions, in fact, as he makes it 31-19. And Abel's going to check in, as well as Gavin Smith, but we're going to have a timeout on the floor. It's going to be a 30-second timeout while we have a chance. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to the Senators and Lions tonight on WSLM.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
31-19, 12-point lead for the Lions, their largest of the night. Second time they've led by double figures as Harrison Sanford got it down to 9 before Whedon answers with Salem's first 3 of the night. 4:31 to play, third quarter of action. As the Senators will now reset and bring it down. Haven't seen as much full court pressure as I thought we might from Salem here tonight, but they'll go back to a half-court trapping defense with Whedon out top. In the corner, nowhere to go. Sanford had it poked away, turnover number 8 on the night for the young Senators. And to the other end, we're going to have a travel before contact as Hendigas tried to push the envelope a little bit in the paint. And he'll turn it over for the 6th time tonight for Salem. And the Senators a chance to start chipping here at this ice block. 31-19, they trail it by 12.
Yeah, and the biggest thing is it's not like we've taken a bunch of bad shots. We just have not been able to put the ball in the basket.
Another dangerous cross-court pass from Nichols to Abels, and then Abels throws it right into the hands of a Salem defender. Turnover number 9, so Salem trying to take advantage, rather. 3 missed by Suvak. A long rebound out to Abels. He'll push across the timeline into the front court, take it coast to coast, miss the wild runner. Smith with the miss on the offensive putback. Offensive rebound by Abels. Kick out to Nichols. He airballs a 3. And the Senators struggling offensively here. They can't get anything to go, and Whedon will try to answer as he bombs another 3. He misses. Skying for the rebound is Nichols as he gives it up to Abels. Right now it's Nichols, Abels, Smith, Green, and Sanford, and we'll have an arm bar and a foul, I believe, on Meade. So that'll be his second. Team foul number 2 of the half, and Bausman, a very short breather, folks.
Yeah,
he'll
Coach,
come right back in.
That shows you how much trust he has in Holden as a freshman point guard.
Right.
Holden's played a quarter JV. You know he's a little gas, but Coach Smith thinks, I can't have him on the bench. He's got to be out there.
Parker's got to trigger it in. He finally finds Holden out front as he's picked up by Hendigas, working the dribble right side between the circles. Lays it off on the wing now to Green. He'll take a screen from Smith on the pick and roll to Smith off the pump fake. Counted in 1. I thought he was going to get whistled for the travel, Coach, but Smith patient. We saw him do the same thing during the JV contest. Pump fake 2 guys, split the defenders, took contact. Nice finish and a chance for a 3-point play as Gavin gets his first points of the night, makes it 31-21. Foul goes against Fleming, his first, team foul number 3 for the Lions as Smith can't finish the old style 3-point play, and Bausman nearly with the steal as Holden used the wrong hand closest to the ball, would have got him a steal and a coast-to-coast layup. Shot missed from the corner. Whedon with the offensive rebound and putback. And Whedon continues his solid night. He's got 15 now for the Lions as it's 33-21. Senators hanging tough here, trying to battle through some learning pains here. This first night of varsity action for many of these guys. And Parker Green off the miss from Gavin Smith gets the offensive rebound, skips it cross court to Abels. 3 ball on the way, couldn't get it to go, missed everything almost. Just clipped the glass on the other side. That left wing not kind to the Senators from downtown in this quarter as Sanford's going to get a well-deserved breather, and a fresh Nick Mars will come in to resume his work in the post against Whedon. 2:27 to go third quarter, 33-21 your score. Senators fired in now. Green gives it up to Abels as he'll work crossover against Suvak and then backs it back out again. So run it between the circles, nowhere to go. He'll have to break that count as he gives it up to Green. He'll take a screen from Mars. and then a nice punt as Whedon punts it over the head of the Senator coaching staff right into about the third row. Denny Tankersley there to save his wife and kids.
It was Coach Bausman's brother, I think.
Yeah. Oh, was it?
Yeah.
All right, so Brad Bausman with the save. Him and Denny both there catch the ball flying into the stands as Smith gets it. Nice turn from the wing, left the floater short, tries to fight for his own rebound, and then Whedon's going to travel, and his father got to lose his mind as Kevin Chrisman calls Whedon for the travel. And Hank's going to want an explanation and not get it from Mark or Kevin, either one. Ball to be inbounded. They give it up to Mars. He'll drive now in amongst the trees. Wild shot. Won't go, but he draws contact, and I think this one's probably going to go on Colin McCartney, the 6'3 junior, and it will, in fact, go against McCartney. His second team foul, number 4, so 4-1 in the foul category in favor of West Washington as Salem picks up their 4th. Second on McCartney, and that sends Nick Mars to the line where he scores finally his first point of the night. At the 1:59 mark of this third quarter of play, he'll get one more off of the foul from McCartney, 33-22. Second one on the way for Mars is pure, nothing but the bottom of the barrel. And the Senators now will press the issue a little bit. And the two freshmen, Green and Bausman, getting after it. And they're going to whistle Parker Green for his first one of the night, team foul number 2.
Might have been a little bit of an acting job by Henniges, but he did get it up in the facial area.
And the Academy Award goes to, did we miss that part? Minute 55 and counting, third quarter of play. Senators hanging tough again, 33-23, low-scoring battle here tonight. Salem controls it now. Moving on your WSLN 1220 AM dial in this second half. From left to right, Senators right to left. And now in the corner with it, little dribble drive, and we're going to have another foul. This one will be on the floor before the shot as Whedon tries to work the dribble against Mars, and Mars will pick up his third.
That, but it sure looked like it was a ticky-tack foul. I mean, wasn't a whole lot of contact there.
Coach Gibson calling out the little nickel dimer.
That's a Michael Jordan foul right there.
Yeah, little nickel dimer in the words of the great Bill Raftery, as Nick Mars will get a well-deserved breather again. Jake Strange, the 6'4 freshman, back into the lineup. Nice curl move off the inbounds play, and Hendy gets right back to work. He matches his first half total with 6 in this period, giving 12 in the ball game, and it's 35-23. Bausman trapped out front, splits 2 defenders, gives it up to Abels to Smith, back to Bausman, deep 3, right side, in and out, no good. Rebound comes off to the Lions and Colin McCartney as they try to build on this 12-point edge. Senators just too cold from downtown in this one thus far. Whedon, dribble handoff, now to Hendigas, and then Hendigas is going to pack it on his hip and be whistled for the turnover. That's the third of the half, 8th of the game for the Lions.
Makes us 3 for 16 from behind the arc.
There's that air conditioning we were talking about. That's pretty chilly, Coach. Minute to play in the third.
You just can't get it to drop. Like I've said 2 times already, they're good shots.
Abels, nice little split of the defenders, and Cade Abels has his first basket of the night and of the season. 35-25 as he banks in a runner after splitting the double team. Coming up on 40 seconds to play in the period. In the corner, right side, Suvak, nice bounce pass, one-handed, threads the needle on the baseline.
Somebody's got to get on the
Lions
floor.
turn it over as Smith comes up with the steal. Turnover number 4, and Jake off the lob pass from Abels can't control. He actually threw it too short as Abels has the turnover. 4th of the half, 10th of the game for West Washington, and we compound the problem with a foul in transition as this one will go against Green, his second, team's 4th. So 4 personals apiece. Senators with a chance to chip away, Coach, and another errant pass.
Yeah, it's sometimes we get a young team or a young player will get just a little bit ahead of himself. I mean, then maybe playing 1 step quicker than we need to. Maybe with the clock running down to 25 seconds, maybe he thought he needed to go a little bit quicker. But yeah, Henniges has 3 steals in this quarter alone. He's since right at the close of the first half, he's been a killer.
Suvak now goes wildly into the paint, misses everything, no deflection. Coach Whedon wants to get an explanation again from Mark Chrisman, and he just ignores him as he backs down the floor.
Gavin was just standing there, and he ran
11
into him.
11 seconds to play.
Gavin is a big boy.
Bausman with the dribble, right side, goes in, spins, kicks it out. Smith, long two, won't go. Jake to try to put it up. He gets fouled as time expires in the quarter. Great offensive board work from the 6'4" freshman big man, Jake Strange. Foul's going to go on Blayton Miller, his first of the night, team foul number 5 of the half. And as time has expired, Salem will walk over to the bench, and Jake's teammates, Green, Abel, Smith, and Bousman, will stand and watch near the lettering on the Ron Smith court as Jake shoots the first one long. No legs, no knee bend in that one. See if Strange can deliver on this second attempt. Chance to get it to single digits. It's 35-25. Jake with one more, the freshman. At the line, left that one short. Again, no legs. So we'll go into the final period of regulation with the Senators trailing the Lions 35-25. Stay tuned. We got fourth quarter action coming up. You're listening to the Senators take on the Lions tonight on Salem's 1220. Back with that fourth quarter right after this.
Health and Rehabilitation, we offer hope in the form of our Moving Forward short-term rehabilitation to home program. With a full range of therapy programs, the goal of Moving Forward Rehabilitation is to help people return home safely with the skills they need to live life on their own terms. Call us and ask us about your Medicare replacement policy or managed insurance policy and what your benefits are. We are here to help. For more information about MetaView, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-4681.
Back to begin the fourth quarter of play here from the Ron Smith Court. Dr. T. Kermitauer Gymnasium, packed house on hand here tonight as the Senators and Lions start the fourth and final quarter of regulation. It'll be Abels out there with Zink, Dakota Smith, Gavin Smith, and Parker Green. Senators have it to start the period. Chance to try to cut into this deficit. A 10-point one. It's 35-25 rolling into this fourth period of play. Green, nowhere to go, gives it up to Smith. He goes baseline. Nice feed cross court to Smith. The Smith connection as Dakota finds Gavin, and Gavin has his second basket of the night. Give him 4 on the evening, and it's back to single digits at 35-27.
You have to start digging down defensively now. I mean, you got it under double digits. You're going to win this game with defense.
Senators locking up in the man-to-man. Whedon's jumper from the elbow left side won't go. And Gavin Smith trying to wall up underneath, forces Miller to kick it out in a 3-ball, a dagger perhaps by Henniges, who comes up huge for Salem again at the offensive end. Nails his first triple of the night. And Henniges with 15 now to keep pace with his running mate Whedon. 38-27 and a turnover by West Washington. Zink and Abels in the backcourt. That's turnover number 5 of the half, 11th of the game. Gavin Smith checks out. Harrison Sanford back in. Bousman still getting a breather after the quarter break. 6:48 counting here in this fourth quarter of play. It's been a dandy here tonight, 38-27. Senators trying to dig deep, though, and a gut check defensively in this quarter. Drive, left side baseline, little tough floater will go for Whedon. He's got 17 now in the game. And it is 40-27, largest lead of the night. And it'll be a timeout on the floor, a full timeout for Coach Smith and company. So we'll step aside and take one as well. You're listening to the Senators take on the Lions on Salem's 1220. Back with more fourth quarter action right after this.
Caring people make the difference. You can feel it the minute you walk into Salem Crossing. Experts in long-term care, not just doing a job, but following a calling. They're here to help you and your family find answers and solutions and peace of mind. In fact, they become an extension of your family. For more information about Salem Crossing, visit ascseniorcare.com or call 812-883-1877. That's 812-883-1877.
6:31 to go, fourth quarter of play. Out of the timeout by the Senators, 40-27 your score. Salem in front. While we got a moment, let's pause one more time for station identification. You're listening to the Senators and Lions tonight on Salem's 1220.
When you're listening to IU Sports, you need to be locked in on WSLM 97.9 FM, your home for IU Sports.
Senators with it out of the timeout. Ball was poked away and then bounced off of a Salem defender. And as Harrison Sanford run out of real estate off the inbounds play, Abels can't get the three to go. That left wing again just ice cold for all West Washington shooters in this second half. 2 minutes nearly gone by in this fourth quarter. Again, 40-27 your score. Senators trailing, but I love what I've seen from some of these young guys here tonight at the varsity level for the first time in their careers.
5:50 to go. I mean, it's still within reach. You just got to dig down, play some deep. We got to start knocking down some shots.
Whedon trying to bully his way in again, had it blocked from behind. As Salem goes with Meade, Hindigus, Miller, Whedon, and Suvac out of the timeout for West Washington. It's Green out there with Mars, Zink, Sanford, and Abels as Gavin Smith going to check back in after this free throw attempt by Hunter Whedon, and the first one is up and good.
There's another one I thought that Nick really, he's gotten called for a couple of cheapies. I thought just bad luck. I thought that was a clean block from behind. He's just had some bad luck tonight.
Senator foul number 5 as Mars picks up his fourth. 7th free throw attempt of the night for Whedon is good. He missed his very first one. He's been perfect since then. As back into the front court we go, 42-27. Now a 15-point advantage, largest of the night for the Lions. Senators going to have to get something ticking on the offensive end. Sanford trying to hit Abels on a back cut, and Holden still getting a breather. Not sure why he's still on the bench. We'll see here if he's just a little gassed or what. But see how long it takes Coach Smith to go back to his freshman point guard. 5:20 and counting, fourth quarter, 42-27. Senators off the turnover. Now they're 6th of the half. 12th of the game as
nice
Gavin
board by
Smith
Gavin.
comes up with a nice defensive board. He's played a good 4 game here tonight. Done a lot of nice things underneath for Coach Smith's ball club. As Zink controls out front, gives it off now to Abels. Zink again with Abels, Gavin Smith, Harrison Sanford, and Parker Green right now for West Washington. They'll go back into that motion set. Little 4-out, 1-in pick and roll. They've got Sanford working against Whedon. He turns, hook shot, won't go off the back iron. Rebound fought for, and Meade comes up with it, and he'll be fouled by Zink, and that'll be his 4th, team foul number 6. And again, Bousman continues to set.
Nice move by Harrison, but we just, the story of the whole ball game, we just haven't been able to get anything to fall. I mean, another good attack to the basket. I mean, just maybe a little bit floating away, but still a decent shot.
Whedon with it now in control for Salem, 4:27 and counting in this one. Salem trying to salt this thing away with some patience of their own at the offensive end as Whedon will drive in, splits 2 defenders, clean blocker, at least I thought it was. It was all ball, must have got him with the body.
I was going to say, it was clean.
That's
up
it for
top,
Zink.
But he may have got a hand on the hip on that one.
Zink fouls out with 4:18 to play. Rough night for the senior guard. Goes over in the game. 5 fouls, had foul trouble early with 2 quick ones, and that'll prompt substitutions here for Coach Smith as he'll send in Nichols and Bousman finally back into the ball game for Zink and Abels. And Whedon to the free throw line once again. 6 out of 7 thus far in the ball game. First free throw is up and pure. Whedon's had a nice game tonight for Salem. Hasn't forced too much. He got called for the player control there in the first half. That was more so, you know, a nice job of the Senator defense stepping over to take the charge, but Whedon continues his solid night as he's now got 6.
Doing a lot of
in
work
the
from the
fourth
free
quarter.
throw line here recently.
So Whedon reaches and surpasses the 20-point plateau for the evening as Nichols dribbles out of trouble. 44-27. This one's starting to get away from the Senators, but again, for the better part of 3 quarters, giving Salem all they wanted with 2 returning starters. And Harrison Sanford underneath got an and one. A little emotion from the 6'2 sophomore forward. And for Sanford, that'll be his 6th point of the night. Chance for the old-fashioned 3-point play. 44-29, 3:57 to go. And the foul goes against number 4, Meade, his 3rd, team 6th.
Mikey hasn't scored, I don't think. I don't have
Nope.
Mike for anything, but he's done a few other things. He's got 3 or 4 rebounds, a couple steals, and a couple assists. I mean, he's had a decent little game.
Sanford finishes the old-fashioned 3-point play, makes it 44-30. Be a timeout on the floor, and this one will be taken by Coach Whedon, his first one of the night at the 3:57 mark. So we'll step aside and get in another sponsor as well. You're listening to the Senators and Lions going at it here in the season opener for both clubs on Salem's 1220. Back with more right after this.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I like to buy name brands.
Brendan stopped by for Valspar Paint last weekend. This time, I helped him pick out a new Weber grill and Craftsman lighters. Scott's, Toro, DeWalt. We have them too, along with other big names.
Ace is the place that carries all the best brands. Carries in store, not in our arms.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only at Ace Hardware of Salem. Save 25% on our best brands of clothes and footwear. Check store for details. Sale in Sunday, November 26th.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Give you a little Hawaii 5-0 action as we roll back to action here in the 4th quarter. Senators trailing at 44-30, 3:57 to play. Senators come out of the break with Green, Nichols, Gavin Smith, Harrison Sanford, and Holden Bousman as they'll apply some full court pressure. Full court man-to-man, trying to break a guy long, and they get Hendigas. Nice work breaking it long, and he's able to score. Give him 17 now on the night as he has 17. Whedon with 21, doing the bulk of the work offensively for this Lions club as expected for Coach Whedon. Again, the only 2 returning starters from last year's club as Bousman misses the spinning runner. Had a good look at it again, just would not go. 3.5 to play in this one, 46-30. And again, really thought, for the most part tonight, it's truly been a matter of us having open looks. They wouldn't fall. Salem's got some shots to go, some timely possessions for them, but I feel like our guys have really made them work for a lot of the things that they've been able to get at the offensive end tonight, Coach.
Right, and they've done a really good job of running out up to the 3-point line. I think they only have 2 3-pointers, but just like that, they've been living in the lane, though.
So Suvak gets his first basket of the half. Give him 6 now in the game, and it is now 48-30, largest lead of the game for West Washington, or for Salem rather. Largest deficit for West Washington. I'll get it straight in a minute. 2:51 and counting in this one.
Sometimes it's the simplest things, though. You got to make shots.
Yep. I mean, if
you make shots, this is a different game.
Sure, easy game to play, and sometimes I think we overanalyze things, we overcomplicate
Easy, but
things.
not simple. I mean, you know what I mean. You have to be able to do things right. But, but I agree. Going back just a minute ago, you had said, I mean, this team has fought. I mean, going into the season, we're like, well, what's it going to be like? But I tell you what, these guys haven't shied one bit, not 1 second.
Yeah.
These guys, I was kind of worried earlier in the 3rd quarter when they got to double digits. Well, this is going to get ugly, but they're still fighting.
Sanford misses the runner for West Washington. Miller picks up the defensive rebound for the Lions. Whedon misses the shot, and then Harrison comes back and cleans up the defensive boards for West Washington. So missing board, and then another missing board at the other end, and that results in a Salem foul. Their 7th, as that one's going to be called on Myron Meade, and he picks up his 4th. Nick Mars back in, Gavin Smith out. We'll walk to the other end where Harrison Sanford will have one and bonus opportunity.
I don't
He's
think
1 for 1 on the night.
Too big a surprise that the two most experienced players on the court have had the two biggest games.
Right.
In Hennigas and Whedon.
Sanford misses. Mars had the offensive rebound. Put back would not go. Rebound comes out to Hennigas. As he'll walk it across, picked up by Green. Most of this crowd still sticking around as Bausman, nice play with the steal, and then saves it in to Mars to the other end. He'll be fouled from behind by Miller, his second, team foul number 8. So we'll stop the clock with $1:57. And the Senators will go back to the line. Mars missed the last free throw attempt for West Washington. A chance to redeem himself here.
I'll say the same about Holden as I did about Mikey a while ago. I mean, he hasn't got his shot to fall. He has 5 points, but he's got 2 assists. He's got 3 steals. He's got a block. He's got a rebound, nice defensive rebound. He's done a lot of everything, and he's been super calm at the point for a freshman in your first game against your rival.
Yes. Mars hits the first, misses the second as Whedon pulls down yet another defensive board. Now some of the fans will start to file out and beat traffic as they head home to begin this long holiday weekend. Salem fans will go home happy again as they prepare for another celebratory Thanksgiving meal. Senators will have to go back to the drawing board of sorts as Subak hits a big 3 for the Lions, his first triple of the night. He's got 9 in the ball game, and it's 51-31 as this lead has ballooned to 20 for the Lions. Now at the other end, though, as Miller picks up his 3rd personal. That's 9 now against the Lions. We'll see some wholesale substitutions as the starters will come out and get a well-deserved hand for Salem. Green and Sanford will come out and get a well-deserved round of applause from Senator Nation. So for the Lions right now, it's Fleming out there with Shane Mahurin, Brandon Corbin, 2 sophomores. Brody Petmeyer also into the ball game for his first minutes of the night. And number 24, Colin McCartney, as the second free throw was missed by Mars. The rebound deflected out of bounds and last touch by a Senator. So minute 25 to play. Both teams back in action on Tuesday night, by the way. So no rest for the weary after a little bit of turkey and gravy tomorrow. They'll have to get back at it in the gym Friday and Saturday to prepare. Salem a little bit tougher opponent than West Washington, but both teams will be in Jackson County on Tuesday night as Salem will go to Brownstown into the pit to take on Dave Benner's Braves for their first Mid-Southern Conference game. Meanwhile, the Senators, a little bit shorter trip just across the river as they will travel into the Hive at Medora, the Hornets' Nest, if you will, to take on Mark Morin's ball club. As the free throw was missed at the other end. And a 3-pointer from the corner finally goes for Holden. That's his first points of the half. Make it 51-34. And to the other end off the steal. Holden's going to get the pass from Abels and give him 5 quick ones. He strikes quick, coach, just like he did in the first half. That gives him 10 now in the ball game. And as the Senators trying to feast a little bit on some of these subs for Salem. 40 seconds to play. 51-36 and another foul. Who shot that last free throw for the Lions?
21.
So Brody Petmeyer. And Holden Bausman's going to pick up a foul at the other end as he picks up his second one of the night. Team foul number 9. And back to the free throw lines, Brody Petmeyer. He makes good on that miss from before. 1 of 2 on the night now, getting his name into the box score as some of the Salem crowd starting to file out more so than the Senator crowd. But I got to think that Senator Nation pretty pleased and excited, licking their chops for the next couple of seasons, seeing what they have tonight with a lot of young faces again. And that'll be the storyline, at least through the Christmas break with these young guys. It's a pretty steep learning curve, 53-36. And the Senators trying to get something else going as Abels missed the runner off glass. Ball's deflected out of bounds and 18.8 on the clock. It'll go back to the Lions probably for the final possession here of the game. As the Senators are going to drop this one. They'll drop it by 17 at 53-36. Corbin trying to dribble things out. Holden still out there giving chase to Petmeyer. and he'll give up the foul. His third, team foul number 10. Anxious to hear Coach Smith's comments and hear what he has to say about his young ball club. Several offensive and defensive apprentices working out there tonight on the job training, as he referred to it yesterday when we spoke. As Petmeyer goes back to the line, he's got 3 on the night. It's 3 of 4.
I don't know. Sometimes, moral victories can leave you feeling a little, empty.
Yeah.
But, this team fought. I think this is a good starting point. Obviously you want to start with a win. But, this team is going to improve. You talked about every coach in practice teaching. For a first game with this young a crew, I wasn't too bad. You just got to make shots. If we start making shots, keep improving from here, then he's going to have to, I think, tighten his rotation just a little bit. But, that's later on. But you know what? I was happy with what I saw. Like I said, you don't ever want to lose. We're ultra competitive people. Coaches, the players are. But as for a starting point, that was pretty impressive for a young squad, I thought.
This one goes final as Petmeyer missed that last free throw attempt. Rebound come off to Strange, and time expires as the Senators fall by 17 in the opener. But again, folks, be patient, because I'm telling you, these young guys have played together from a young age all the way through Midwest Youth Ball. A lot of tournaments won by this group. It's just going to be a growing process. You're going to hear Coach Smith talk about it being a process, trusting that process, running that marathon. It's not a sprint, and they want to, of course, be playing their best basketball at the end of the year, but they fall here tonight 54-36, again the final, as Salem moves to now 1-0 on the year, 1-0 on the road. Senators 0-1. 0-1 here at home, but they'll try to bounce back with a road win at Medora on Tuesday night. We'll step aside, take a break. We'll start adding some things up. We'll come back to begin our post-game show activities courtside here at the Ron Smith Court inside the friendly confines as the Lions win it in this holiday tradition, this opener for both clubs. We'll come back to begin that Ace Hardware Salem post-game show right after this word from a couple of our sponsors.
Hello, police. I just hit a deer. Well, the deer actually hit me, right? But I need a wrecker for my truck. See, the whole front end is really smashed in. Now, the deer didn't make it, but it sure looks like a 12-pointer. Hey, I'd like to be towed to Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center. Yeah, the one at 1008 West Mulberry Street in Salem. Well, just the other day, Bill, my buddy, he had his Ford Mustang redone there, and it looks like it did back in 1965. Even better. Well, they accept most major insurances, and they work with you to get a rental and get you back on the road with genuine parts for your vehicle. Not like some body shops that make their repairs out of the local junkyard. Yeah, right. Let Paul know it's me and that the truck will be coming in. He's a great guy. He knows the repair business like the back of his hand. The deer? Nah, he's not going to process that. Just the truck. Yeah, Eddie Gilstrap Motors Collision Center, or call Paul at 812-883-3481.
Channel seamanship. It's about being in your fields, giving you expert advice, knowing your fields almost as well as you do, and selecting elite seed products to help maximize your profitability. When it comes to getting the most out of your acres and your operation, put your trust in a Channel seaman. For customized service, expert advice, and elite seed products, contact me, Brady Bishop, at 812-620-4624. Go Senators.
Since 1937, Eddie Gilstrap Motors has been proud to call Washington County home. As you cheer for your team tonight, we'd like to thank you for your business and continued support. Best wishes to the Lions, Senators, and Musketeers this season.
courtside as both fan bases file out of the friendly confines. Tonight, the Senators fall in their season and home opener to the Lions, 54-36. And, Coach, people are going to look at this final and say, you know what, Senators fall here tonight by 18. Another blowout against Salem. Yada, yada, yada. It's a 3A school, the powerful MSC. That's what we hear a lot. But unless you were here to see this, and unless you have a true understanding of the game and the process within the game and how things work, and unless you're a real student of the game, I think it's hard for people to realize how good this young Senator team actually fared whenever you consider, it was a battle of senior squads last year and ended up being a 75-48 game. I think Coach Smith's going to be very, very pleased, as we said before the break, with this group's effort. And, going forward, you play this Salem team once, you're going to get a shot again in a few weeks in the holiday tournament at Salem. You hope that some of those shots that we didn't make tonight start to fall, but I know that the three-point percentage, definitely something not in favor of really either club, but especially for West Washington tonight.
Yeah, Salem shot 3 of 10 for 30%. Senators 4 of 21 for 19%. So, we talked about it. It's an easy game, but like I said, when you make shots, but when you don't make shots, it can get kind of frustrating. But that's one thing I don't think these young guys let it frustrate them too much. It didn't filter in other parts of the game, if that makes sense. They weren't hitting shots, but it wasn't like they were hanging their heads and not playing defense either.
Right.
They came down, and like we said, it's a starting point. I would give that a thumbs up, because this team is going to get improved. It's going to start making shots. And it looked like, and for a while through the first half, they played real well defensively. That's what they were patient on offense. A lot of great things that we saw from this young team. I think it all goes back to the last minute. One thing they can take from this and learn, you have to finish out quarters. You have to finish out halves. It was a 1-point game. The last 1:10 of the first half, all of a sudden it's a 7-point game going into break, because we gave up 6 quick points. 6 quick points off of layups, because I think they scored on a little floater. We come down and turn it over. They get a layup. Maybe we take a quick shot or another turnover. However it happens, it went from a 1-point to a 7-point, and that doesn't seem like much, but for a young team, that's a different mindset when you go into the locker room 1 versus 7, or an opportunity to be leading at half if you take care of the ball in the final minute 10. So that's one thing I think Coach will talk about, is finishing out quarters. You can never take a possession for granted when you're this young. We have 2 seniors with Nick and Cam, but they're not super experienced seniors. So you can almost count them like juniors. But for a starting point, and I know the last 2 years after this game, it's been tough to talk to you for a couple of days because you're like, oh man. But I don't get that vibe from you this year. You never want to lose to your rival, but I tell you what, this is going to be a fun season. I'm going to knock on wood for 1,000 times here. As long as we stay healthy, I think this is going to be a fun year.
And I will tell you this. To your point, the last couple of years, it's kind of put a bit of a damper for a short period of time on my holiday weekend. But you're right, I don't go away with the same feeling, despite an 18-point decision here tonight. And people who know me well might say, well, but you're kind of partial to some of these guys that you've been around, that you've coached at one point. While that may be true in a sense, separating that from my job that we do every night that they play and bringing the game to the fans, I'm telling you, this was a different atmosphere. It was a different attitude. It was a different, I think sometimes youth is a good thing. We often paint it as you don't know what you're going to expect, and we really didn't. But from the youth standpoint tonight, sometimes you get young guys out there and they almost feel like, Coach, they have nothing to lose. And I know some of these guys playing at least 1 quarter of JV feel like, this is my chance to go out and prove myself. Be a risk taker. Go out and try to make something happen. Don't force the issue. Just try to make plays. bring some positive energy, because when January, February rolls around, let's face it, I think you're going to see a dogfight between about 10 or 12 guys for playing time come tournament time.
Yeah, that's what I was alluding to earlier in the broadcast. I think it's going to take a while, and I think even Coach had talked about it in the opening, that or maybe you mentioned it, it's an open audition for a while.
Right.
But I think, like you just said, once you start getting into January, I mean, you start tightening that rotation down, and you're right. I mean, competition's great.
Yeah.
Competition within your own team is great. So, I mean, these guys are fighting for playing time, and going back to another point, yeah, these young guys, they did not back down at all from anybody the whole night. That's what sometimes you get freshmen out there, and it's kind of like a learning curve. They're like, I don't know if I should be this aggressive here. They went at it. And these sophomores that didn't play varsity last year, they went at it.
And
I was really impressed with these young guys tonight.
And to their point, you know, some of these sophomores, freshmen that have played together so much in these tournaments, Coach, that's all. See you guys. See you tomorrow. That's all they've ever known, Coach. That's the style. That's the grind. That's the, you know, making that they have made so many groups suffer. This especially, and it's not about the give Nick, give Cam their props. Yeah, maybe Cam doesn't score tonight, but we're going to need him in a lot of these games where our young guys struggle. We're going to need Nick's rebounding. We're going to need guys like Dakota Smith and Mikey Nichols and Caden Abels. But for this young nucleus, so many of them playing their first true varsity minutes tonight, they did what they've always known, and that's to go in at a buzzsaw pace and just go in and grind this thing out. And that's what they did for the most part, despite falling 54-36 as we continue to wait for Coach Smith to make his way down. We'll get a word with Senator Athletic Director and football head coach Philip Bausman here on the Ace Hardware of Salem post-game show as we wait for Coach Smith to make his way down. We'll talk to Coach Bausman a little bit. Coach, usually we have the tradition of talking to you at halftime, but didn't get a chance to before the second half started. So first of all, let's talk a little bit just quickly about football season, just kind of recapping things. Very similar to tonight, very similar to this season in basketball. It was a big learning curve for some of these guys on the gridiron, just like tonight. But I think in both cases, these young guys are responding to the challenge.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You know, we started, you know, with football season, we had 8 seniors, and they were 8 terrific seniors. You know, some had substantial playing time, and some guys were role players, but they all had a part on the team and really contributed. And then our underclassmen, you know, we were thin with our junior class with only 3 out. But sophomore and freshman, you know, there's just a lot of athletes, a lot of talent there. And some guys, you know, it was an eye-opening experience for them. And, you know, we had some sophomores really step up, you know, with Caleb Murphy. He made all-conference at the end of the year. Chase Farmer made all-conference at the end of the year. And then we had 3 seniors fortunate to make it as well. So, you know, it just really, you know, contribute that to the talent level and then the work ethic of those guys, but valuable experience for all of them.
I go back to those seniors, and while it may not have been a large senior class, and you talked about this at the banquet, the work ethic that they had in the off season, in the weight room, in the speed training room, preparing their bodies, preparing themselves mentally and physically both for the game and the season, it rubbed off on some of those young guys who already had a pretty good work ethic.
Yeah, they did. You know, that this senior class, you know, if there's anything that you can say about them is they're gritty, they're tough, they're hardworking, and they may be a group that made some of the biggest gains in their 4-year career from a freshman to a senior in strength, speed, just body mass, and, you know, you just contribute to that, to their work ethic, and they were some of the greatest leaders we've had, and, you know, I'm going to miss those guys, but they definitely set the tone on what's going to be handed down for great leadership qualities for our underclassmen.
And that's a good segue, Coach, because some of those same senior leaders that we had took their skill set, their physicality now to the wrestling program and in its inaugural season here at West Washington, and today they were able to go up and get their first taste of competition at Edgewood. Talk a little bit about the announcement you gave at halftime.
Yeah, we had 5 guys, and I'm gonna pull my phone, make sure Coach Nance sent the names, make sure I don't miss anybody. But we had about 5 guys that were able to register some wins today. These were varsity wins with Jude Livers, Hunter Pavey, Tanner Packwood, Caleb Murphy was able to come away with 2 wins, and Noah Baker, and then Griffin Packwood got a couple wins in some JV matches. So that's huge for those guys to go up and do that. I know they wrestled Seymour, Brown County, a couple others. I can't remember off the top of my head. We had some big schools there. Ben Davis.
Ben Davis, New
Jennings
Albany.
County, and Jennings County, New Albany. So, there's a lot of great competition there, and it was, kind of threw them right to the meat grinder, threw them right to the fire. And I think that was phenomenal for those guys to go up and get those wins. And, looking at those guys, besides Tanner and Griffin that maybe has played some basketball in the past, Jude, Hunter, Caleb Murphy, and Noah Baker, those guys are winner guys that don't have a sport now that we have wrestling that gives them some way to compete. It's one thing to go to the weight room, work out, and get stronger, get faster, but you can't set a standard of what it's like to go compete. And competing in wrestling, you're out there all by yourself, and it sets a mindset, and the mindset's so crucial in athletics. So it's a great opportunity for those guys.
Well, just want to take this moment to tell you and your family happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the weekend. I know your brother's down from up north. You guys have a great day tomorrow. Be safe as you travel out and about. And congratulations on a great football season, and looking forward to some fun times this winter on the basketball floor.
Yeah, it's exciting. So happy Thanksgiving to you all.
All right, so as Coach Bowsman steps aside, let's get in a sponsor real quick. We'll hear from Walmart. We'll come back and roll on with more of our post-game show brought to you by Ace Hardware of Salem. When we come back, we'll be joined by Senator head coach Sean Smith. Back with more right after this.
This is Kelly, and this is my Walmart. This is Kate, and this is my Walmart.
This is Kevin, and this is my Walmart.
This is Alicia, and this is my Walmart. This is Jessica, and this is my Walmart.
We're all part of Walmart, and we're all part of the local community. Walmart has contributed hundreds and thousands of dollars to the Salem and Washington County community in the past year. We've raised money for Salem's flood victims, local fundraisers, and donated to local law enforcement, the Community Foundation, and many other civic and private groups in the county. We're here to serve you with our unbeatable service and quality products and everyday low prices. I'm Jeff Rampy, and this is Salem's Walmart.
With more of our post-game festivities here from the Ron Smith Court, as we're joined now by fourth-year Senator head coach Sean Smith. Coach, obviously, you want the W. You want to start the season out with a big win against a rival, but in many ways tonight, I felt like this group did pick up a big win.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the process goes, we talk all the time about being a process. We talk about working hard, being tough, being great teammates, fighting hard. Those things are all part of the process. I thought the guys did all those things tonight. Things that we didn't do well, we'll get better at with experience and work. And we struggled to score. That'll get better as we are able to get a little more efficient with our offense and just get more reps in and get some other. We don't certainly have, with a young team and experience, we certainly don't have everything that we need, all the tools that we need in the bag of tricks yet. So I mean that'll come, in time, and we'll be able to get more reps in and get better at running our stuff and be able to, knock down shots and that sort of thing. But I thought the kids came out in the JV game and the varsity game. I thought they played really well and competed well, and I'm really proud of them. And we just talked about this. This is a good experience, and let's learn from it, and let's get ready for our next game.
Talked about being able to knock down some of those shots as the process continues along and they get more games under their belts. I really thought tonight shot selection, for the most part, was pretty good at times. We just couldn't get those timely baskets to fall. And in that first half, prime example, I mean, we go just a little over 7 minutes before Parker finally gets us on the board.
Yeah, we struggled out of the gate, and I was sitting there thinking, boy, we may not score this quarter. But Parker stepped up and stroked a couple there, and he's certainly capable, and we want him looking for his shot. He's a good shooter, and he has a knack for putting the ball in the basket. So, good to see him do that. And we got going a little bit, and I thought we competed well at the end of the second quarter. We got quick a little bit. And that's just inexperience. Next time or down the road, we're in that situation. And they weren't bad looks,
right,
but they were just quick, and we could have probably, especially, we might have been able to use a little more time and could have probably got the same look that we did, and it led to some runouts. And of course, the Hennigas kid, he's just a nice player. I mean, he's just real creative, and he was able to get out in the break and make some things happen. And going, I guess we were down 7 or 8 going into half. We probably could have kept it, could have been a little closer, but. That's basketball. We'll learn from it. We'll get better.
Yeah, it was that 90-second span roughly there at the end of the first half that you're referring to, where we actually had it at 18-17, and then Hennigas reels off 3 straight baskets to give them that edge, 24-17 at the half. But you come out in that third quarter, guys still continue to battle. I like what I was able to see out of guys like Harrison Sanford and Gavin Smith and some of those guys on the glass.
Yeah, absolutely. They fought hard, and Salem's got some strong kids that, they're upperclassmen. They can get up and they go get big boy rebounds, and we talked about that. And I thought Harrison had a really nice game, did a real nice job, and really stepped up. And Gavin too. They got in there, and and then of course we had our 2 seniors in foul trouble the whole night.
Right.
I mean, poor Cam, he probably didn't play 3 or 4 minutes. He couldn't, he couldn't. He's a foul magnet, and Nick really had a hard time staying out of foul trouble too. And we're gonna need those guys. To come in and compete and step up and lead the way, and told them they got to learn from it and bounce back too. And but I saw a lot of great things out of everybody that was out there, and it was a good experience. And we just got to continue to work and grow.
And you bring up those 2 seniors, and while they may not have had the scoring output that they would have liked to have maybe had in their season opener for their senior year, Coach Gibson and I talked about this while we were waiting on you to come down. The fact that their body language, positive energy, bringing these young guys along with them, being the senior leader. Sometimes leadership's more than just scoring points.
Absolutely, and that's something that we have really been emphasizing and talking about is body language, and how it never whispers, and it's contagious, and that's something that I thought the guys really bought in tonight. Both, really started in the JV game. I thought had really great energy, and glad to see our JV guys pull out a win, and it carried over the varsity. And even when we were down, I thought our guys were battling and had a positive spirit. They didn't hang their heads, and they kept battling. And got to give them a lot of credit. Some teams would fold up and start hanging their heads and pouting, and didn't see that tonight. So that's a good thing, and we want to continue to do that.
And just like the schedule always, plays out, no real rest for the weary, so to speak.
No.
You'll enjoy the holiday here a little bit and then get back to work, I'm sure, because now you go on the road for your first test up at the Hornets' Nest against Mark Moran's club, who was in a close one with Shaw Memorial last night. Just give us a quick glimpse of the Medora team that we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Moran's doing a great job with them, and they're going to probably the first game they played a pretty much 2-3 zone exclusively, but you got to be ready for anything. But we'll certainly continue to work on our man stuff, but we'll definitely prepare for a 2-3 zone, and I think they try to trap out of it some too. So, but in an early season, you just don't know. I mean,
surprises around every corner.
Yeah, I mean they did that the first game, but they have some time to maybe add something else or do something different too. So, it's just a matter here in the early going of pushing your kids, to get better, and seeing how much, we can get in, and at some point we'll have all our package in, and hopefully we'll be able to really get it rolling going into the tournament. And that's really what we talk about, is it's a marathon and not a sprint, and we just want to, we just got started, and we want to keep getting better, and come February we want to be running our race headed into the tournament and see if we can make some noise again.
Coach, your team doesn't win, on the scoreboard point-wise tonight, but they win in so many other aspects. Valuable experience here tonight.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
A lot of firsts for the kids, and real proud of them.
Sure.
And, I think some good things certainly are happening out there, and we just got to keep building on them. And appreciate your all's coverage.
Congratulations on a great effort. Have a great Thanksgiving weekend.
Same to you. Thank you.
Coach Smith here on the Senator post-game show as we get his thoughts on tonight's loss to the Lions. 54-36 the final. Let's run down some individual scoring efforts here tonight. First for the Lions, who again now move to 1-0 on the year, 1-0 on the road. They'll try to continue that streak as they head to Brownstown on Tuesday night to take on Dave Benner's Braves in the pit at Brownstown in their conference opener. They're led tonight by their two returning starters. Hunter Whedon finishes the game with a game-high 21 points on the night, 10 in the first half, 11 in the second half, and all but that first free throw he was able to make on the night. So great effort by Hunter Whedon for the Lions to lead the way. 17 for Xavier Hindigas on the evening as well. He had 11 of those 17 in the second half of play. He also went 2 of 2 from the charity stripe. 9 for Landon Suvak on the night as he's able to get 4 in the first half and 5 in the fourth quarter and to total out his 9 points. From there, scoring falls off as Myron Mead and Blake Miller start for the Lions, but they are unable to tally on the evening. Brandon Corbin, Shane Mahurin, Colin McCartney, Gavin Fleming, and Brody Petmeyer all play for Hank Whedon's club tonight. The only two able to tally off the bench, Gavin Fleming finishes the game with 4 points, a field goal, and 2 of 2 free throw shooting. Brody Petmeyer on the night, 3 of 5 from the free throw line on the closing minutes of play for his 3 points in the ball game. 54 points total on the board for the Salem Lions in the win. They go 15 of 18 from the charity stripe for 83% after going 6 of 7 in that first half for 86%. So nice shooting night from the line for the Lions. They give it up 5 times in the first half, 6 in the second half for a total of 11 in the ball game. Meanwhile, for the Senators, now 0-1 on the young season. 0-1 here in the friendly confines. They get one guy in double figures tonight, and that's the freshman point guard, Holden Bowsman, as he finishes the night with 10 points. He gets a well-deserved breather here in front of us down at the scorer's bench. He has 5 in each half, including a couple of 2-point field goals and 2 triples on the night. Did not shoot a free throw. Cam Zink goes scoreless. He did start, again battling foul trouble most of the night. Mikey Nichols also started but did not tally for the Senators. In the front court, the starters, Dakota Smith and Nick Mars, both get into the scorer's book. Dakota Smith with 4 points all in that second quarter, including 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Nick Mars chips in 2 points off of back-to-back made free throws there in that third quarter of play. Harrison Sanford, Parker Green, Caden Abels, Jake Strange, and Gavin Smith all play for Coach Smith off the bench tonight. Harrison Sanford chips in 8 points, doing most of his damage in the second half of play. Parker Green chips in 6 on 2 3-point makes in that first half of play. Scored the team's first basket with 56 seconds to go in the first quarter. And then 4 for Gavin Smith off the bench. Caden Abels and Jake Strange also play. Abels chips in 2. Strange goes scoreless on the night. Senators go 6 of 11 from the free throw line for 36% in this, for 46% in this one, finishing out with 36 points total on the board. And in the turnover department, they give it up 6 times in each half for 12 total in the ball game. Scoring by quarter win like this, Salem led it in a low-scoring battle 7-5 after the first period of play. And again, that coming after the Lions go 7+ minutes without getting a basket in that opening period. They outscore the Senators. Salem does 17-12 in the second period of play, leading at 24-17 at the half. They outscore West Washington again in the third, 11-8, leading at 35-25 going into the fourth. And then a 19-11 win in the fourth quarter sealed the deal for Salem, moving them to 1-0 on the year with the 54-36 win. Coach, you got some additional statistics for us.
Yeah, you did a lot of the shooting stuff, so I'll go to the periphery here. Rebounding, like I said before, that was a pretty big discrepancy. I mean, we fought back in the second half. I did a little bit better, tied them 12-12 in the second half, but total rebounding, I had them for 27, Salem for 27, 9 offensive, went to West Washington's 19 rebounds, 6 offensive. So a little bit better job in the second half, but still the Salem Lions out-rebounded us 27-19. we ended up with 5 steals, 2 blocks. Holden Bousman with 3 steals on the night with a block and a rebound. So they ended up with 6 steals, and it was apparent that those 2 experienced guys were the difference in the ball game. Would we say 38 of their however many 54 points or whatever it was. So, I mean, and also Hedinges also had 4 steals and Whedon with 2. I had Whedon with 10 rebounds, so he was big on the boards as well, as Miller with 7. Going back to the rebounds for the Senators, I had Nichols with 5, Sanford and Gavin Smith with 4 each. So some good things sprinkled in there. Assist-wise, the Senators ended up with 10 assists, which tells me that they were running the offense and they were finding the open guy, and that's a good thing to see out of the first game with a young team, that they're not, everything is just one-on-one, let me get my own shot. That was not the case tonight. They did an awesome job of running, especially in the first half. We were super patient the whole half, and they did a good job of finding the open man. And honestly, like we said, the rebounding in the first half, they out-rebounded us by a good margin in the first half, 15-7, and a few of those were offensive. So they got some second half points or second chance points. So that was pretty big. But overall, like we said, I was very pleased. I told Coach Smith as he was leaving, I mean, that's exactly what I told you for a starting point. That's pretty good, because these shots are going to start falling. I told Holden and Philip down there that once these shots start falling, this is going to be a fun team.
Well, and the thing that I noticed offensively, not only the patience, and we talked about that a little bit in the pregame, but the movement. We had a lot more movement, it felt like, tonight in one game than we had in several games combined last year. New look offense, a little pick and roll action, Gonzaga style of offense, and I think that's going to pay dividends down the road for this young Senator squad. We're going to step aside and take our final break of the night, hear from our post-game show sponsor, Ace Hardware in Salem. Be sure to stop in and check out their bargains of the month. As the holiday weekend's upon us, Black Friday shoppers, beware. There'll be deals galore at every store, including Ace Hardware in Salem. So we'll hear a word from them. We'll come back, name our player of the night, and wrap things up from Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium right after this.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
I like to buy name brands.
Brendan stopped by for Valspar Paint last weekend. This time, I helped him pick out a new Weber grill and Craftsman pliers. Scott's, Toro, DeWalt. We have them too, along with other big names.
Ace is the place that carries all the best brands. Carries in store, not in our arms.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only at Ace Hardware of Salem. Save 25% on our best brands of clothes and footwear. Check store for details. Sale ends Sunday, November 26th.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Back for the final time here at the Ron Smith Court inside the friendly confines. Senators fall to the Lions in the season opener for both clubs here tonight. 54-36, the final. Time to name our Ace Hardware of Salem player of the night, and that's going to go to the freshman point guard Holden Bousman, who leads the team with 10 points on the night. Grabbed a few boards as well, come up with 3 or 4 steals, also chipped in 3 dimes on the night in the assist category. So congratulations to Holden Bousman, our Ace Hardware player of the night.
I was talking to Holden, and he said not to forget, because his favorite play was when he had a block. So he had a big block in the first half. He wanted to make sure we talked about that.
He had a monster swat, and we'll just leave it at that. But it put a grin on his ear, or his face from ear to ear, rather.
Points. That was better than the steals and better than the assists. The one block.
He was grinning truly, like I said, from lobe to lobe, ear to ear. He was grinning for sure, and he'll enjoy that one for the weekend, and something he'll remember for a while. But again, the Senator squad comes up short in the score department, but winning in so many ways. Looking forward to Tuesday night and seeing how they respond after a holiday break and a short turnaround as they go to Medora. But be a good contest for them. Always a tough environment to play in.
Yeah, and I think you said it best earlier when you were talking about some of our older guys. I mean, we've been talking about our youth and youngster this and that, but you see freshmen in every sport go through some highs, some peaks and valleys, some highs and lows. So I thought that was interesting when you said that earlier, because yeah, Nick's going to have to come through for us. Cam's going to have to come through for us. Juniors as well, Mikey and Caden. I mean, we can't just rely solely on the youngsters,
right,
because inevitably there's going to be a game here, a game there, where it's just not happening for them. So yeah, it's as far as starting points, we've said it many times. I give this one an A, because I love the fight, I love the grit. We just didn't knock down shots. I mean, and if that's the only bad thing you can find is that you didn't shoot real well, I think that's a pretty good start, because that'll come. I mean, the more shots you put up, I mean, they're going to shoot all Christmas break. I mean, those shots are going to start falling. And if that's the only downside, then, like I said before, this could be a real fun group to call these games.
That downside put quite the grimace on Coach Smith's face when he saw 4 of 21 from downtown, though. So,
well, I mean, that's one thing. I don't remember too many forced. I mean, I'm sure his idea of a forced 3 and mine might be a little bit different. Right. So once he sees the film, I mean, maybe, he talks, hey, if the shot isn't going from behind the arc, let's get in the paint. And then that's kind of what Salem did. I mean, they struggled to start the game, or actually the whole game, from shooting behind the arc as well. I mean, they hit too late to make a 30% game, which isn't bad, but they said, okay, we're going to start getting to the paint because this thing's too close for comfort right now.
Well, Coach, have a good Thanksgiving break and holiday weekend. I know you and your brother will be headed to Leopold, down to Perry County, to enjoy a nice meal with your family tomorrow, but want to wish you safe travels and great start to the basketball season on the radio.
Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Be safe. Enjoy your family. Live, laugh, love, that old thing, and everybody enjoy their holiday. And like I said, I am super excited for the rest of the year, and I really think we're going to have a lot of fun this season.
We'll see if we can get it turned around on Tuesday night.
That's right.
Here tonight, Senators fall one more time. 54-36 is the final. We want to give a final shout-out and thank you to all the sponsors that make this and every broadcast of Senator basketball possible, because without their great support, we would not be able to do the job we love. Each night the Senators are in action, so a big shout-out to our pregame sponsor, John Jones GM City, Eddie Gilstrap Motors bringing you the Senator Halftime Report, Ace Hardware of Salem bringing you this post-game show coverage, as well as our Player of the Night award, and to McDonald's, Walmart, Brady Bishop, and Channel Seed, Salem Crossing, and Meadowview Healthcare. A big thank you for your support all season long here on WSLM as we bring you coverage of the Senators all season long. Again, Senators back in action on Tuesday night up at the Hornets' Nest against Mark Moran's Medora Hornets. We'll be scheduled for around a 7:30 varsity tip. We'll be on the air with our pregame coverage somewhere around 7:10, 7:15 on the AM dial. Salem goes to Brownstown. They'll be on the FM dial. Same setup, same times for them on the FM side on Tuesday night. So Senators will get right back at it. And again, I want to wish everyone happy Thanksgiving, safe travels while you're out and shopping and going to visit family this week. And certainly looking forward to a good time with the family this weekend. With that said, for my broadcast partner on the night, Coach Mark Gibson, for our live streamer, Craig Akers, and for our studio engineer back at the station, Becky and Greg, both, we appreciate everything you do for us to help us get this show rolling each night the Senators play. We thank you so much. You guys have a great Thanksgiving as well. And with that, I'll say good night one final time from Dr. T. Kermit Tower Gymnasium. Good night, everyone.